Countdown, countdown, countdown. It's almost time. Draft day. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now. There's every. I really firmly believe, just to get myself all worked up, and you can get worked up with me, but we might be in the first round. Not a chance. Here's the question, though. Trade or no way for Mrs. Lance's baby boy Trey? Fam, if you believe all that is being said about Trey Lance in the Niners quarterback room, you can't help but to wonder, right? As we do as Niner fans each and every year at this particular same time, and we never learn because next year this time we'll be biting at things that are obviously questionable. But is this real or not? This year, like last year, we wondered about Debo. The year before that, hey, how far back can you remember the madness we went through between the end of the season and the draft? What's not real? Tonight, we're going to the phones, though, for your thoughts after going over some theories about why or why not will the Niners really move from Trey Lance before or during draft night. I can't. You know what I was draft weekend. Put it that way, because we're not going to the first day. We might be, but I wouldn't bet any money on it. How you doing tonight, fam? It's Friday, weekend time. You should be fine. You had your pizza yet? Robbie Gold. It is real. It is official. It is not going to happen. For those of us who were still holding on to the possibility that Zane would not be our main guy, and we're still not going to have to really rely on him. The 49ers have some deal I've never heard of being pulled off. Did he come from Carolina? Yeah. That deal, the 49ers can vacate that deal anytime they want. So Robbie's not coming back, though. He wants to play closer to Chicago, and he went as far as to say if Chicago would call, I'd hurry over to do. And I imagine he'd play for anything they'd pay. Good luck, Robbie. Good luck, man. Damn it. Every time, this is going to be, we're not thinking about it now. You're not worried about it now. But when that game comes on and the 49ers are going to trot out blah, blah, blah. Oh, Jesus. Here we go, fam. This is what I was talking about way back in April. But he's already missed 2 this year. And, oh, God, I hate that. With Robbie walking out there, I kick back, I relax. I don't even smoke cigars, but I lit one just because I knew we were going to win. Jesus. Anyway, let's get into this. According to what we're hearing, it appears the Niners are ready to let go of QB Lance. At least that's what Ian Rappaport has reported on the team fielding calls about Trey would indicate. Rappaport's report from sources. They always do that, right? Maybe that's because if you start giving out your sources, they won't give you any more information in the future. Anyway, the source specified it was Niners receiving calls, not placing them. And that sounds like something that would have to be something coming directly from the Niners headquarters, right? Otherwise, how would you even start making up a lie like that? What would make you come around that circle? And how would you be so brazen and bold to do something like that? So you almost have to believe that. By allowing that intel to get out, we can assume they're letting teams know publicly, and that's already pretty much been it's given now. The 49ers are open for business on T. Lance. And GM John Lynch and Coach Kyle Shanahan always say they'll listen on any player. Even if the mama was playing on the team. Man, well, you want mom? Give me an offer. The 49ers, they walk around the office like the Mandalorians. This is the way. But you know what, fam, this is a little different, though. This isn't a team calling them about Debo's trade request. This is the Niners trying to drum up interest in Mrs. Lance's baby boy with just 4 NFL starts under his belt. See, that already is a task. You can go all the way back to the NFL owners' meetings. The Niners were setting up a duel to let Lance and Sam Darnold duke it out for the quarterback 1 job while Brock Purdy was rehabilitating and getting better from his elbow tear. So Trey's highest potential ranking in the quarterback room was already quarterback 2. That is, if he could beat out Sam Darnold. WTF, right? But, Trey's not taking this hard. He said, hey, don't give me nothing, man. I'll go get it. Good luck, Trey. Well, it's going to be rough. Good luck. They continue to push the belief in Lance and repeat the line that he just needs to play to help clear the experience hurdle that he has been in. Has been in his way since the COVID-19 pandemic eliminated his final college season. But they're still taking phone calls. This report surfaces that suddenly Lance's immediate future in San Francisco appears to be in extreme jeopardy. How in the world did we get here, fam? This is the thing. I still doubt very seriously, I really do, that the 49ers moved Trey Lance this week or during the draft. I can't imagine that. I'll be blown away. I really will be shocked. Yeah, some people say, you'll be the only one. I will be. Let's look at some theories, and you share your thoughts from just this little bit as soon as we go to the phone. The Niners are running out of time with Lance, and to this point, all indications are they have no plans on giving him the necessary runway to see what he can do as a full-time starter. See, can he beat out Sam Darnold? I know people, Sam Darnold sucks. He thinks he's got experience. Trey doesn't have any. So that's even if there was nothing else, everything else is equal. Sam knows what he's doing. Trey's still trying to find his way. Indications for the team say they're all in on Brock Purdy, who is recovering from off-season surgery on that torn UCL. That means Lance, who has 2 years plus a fifth-year option left on his rookie deal, he's slated to be a backup for the duration of his stint in San Francisco. His exit in free agency after the 2024 season, you figure the 49ers wouldn't pick up his expensive fifth-year option if things stay the same as they are rumored to be right now. That would net the team nothing in return. So why do it? The Niners might be more keen to let this play out if they had the entirety of his rookie deal to see how Purdy progresses, as well as give T. Lance every chance. Because there'd be a quarterback competition for the next 2 years in the offseason, provided they're both healthy and they can do that, right? Realistically, though, they don't have that luxury, and his value only goes down after the season when another year is down on his first contract. Leaking now that they're aiming to trade him, that's no accident, fan. That's baiting the hook and fishing in a fashion that could potentially lead to a bidding war where the Niners have their choice of, well, we like that offer. Not that so much, okay? Try again next time, or else do better. You know, and that's they wanted the ball in their court where they can pass it wherever they want to. So, quarterback injuries have been such an issue for the Niners that they may not want to move forward with Lance regardless of his future as a quarterback. He injured the finger in the final preseason game of his rookie year. Then he hurt his knee in Arizona in his first NFL start. Then he fractured his fibula in week 2 last year. Now, since Shanahan arrived in 2017, the Niners have used more than one quarterback in 5 of 6 years, which leads you to believe if Lance is smart, just get me the hell up out of here. I don't care what. I'll take a 7th round pick. Just let me out of here, coach, because y'all to get a man killed around here. Injuries at quarterback derailed playoff or Super Bowl hopes in 2018, 2020, and 2022. And there's an argument to be made. It affected them in 2021 as well, with Jimmy G playing through a couple injuries. I firmly believe that, family. It's just, you know what? It's just, there's no way in hell Rams beat a healthy Jimmy Garoppolo. There just ain't. And I'm there's proof. Jimmy Garoppolo came here in 2017 and came in here beating the Rams up, knowing nothing about Kyle. He didn't know the names of the players on the team. From that point on, beat the Rams every time he seen them, except for once. And he was hurt. So no way in hell the Rams beat a healthy Jimmy G. And I know they're grateful for that, too, because that's how they run around there pounding just, we stepped all over you guys and got our big. Oh, man. Niners brought in T. Lance to replace Garoppolo in part because his injury was. And now Lance is having issues staying on the field. This wasn't expected. And there's a chance the Niners are just entirely out on Lance and there is this possibility, and don't actually think there's a world where he becomes a good quarterback. Remember last year when they said that rumor that's passing by, the 49ers are underwhelmed by Trey Lance. And we said, oh, man, come on, man. Y'all just be clicking. Hey, get out of here with that. Nobody believed that. Looking back, I don't know. They publicly backed Lance and how much they like him and believe in him, but their actions to this point say otherwise. That would put them in a spot where they're just looking to cut bait and get something back. If this is the case, they may not be picking what they get back. They just want anything of value in return for a player they're ready to put on a punt on after 4 NFL starts across 2 seasons. Fam, I want to recall something to you really quick here. Fam, you remember that last season when Coach Shanahan said Lance has to keep his running advantage. This is why. Okay, let me go on. Coach Shanahan knows that Trey Lance can run with the best of them, and suggested Trey lean into that strength of his. Shanahan told Greg Papa last season on an open episode of 49ers Game Plan, NBC Sports Bay Area, quote, "That's his advantage. That's what he's got to keep. I mean, that's what gives him an advantage in this league. When you are a threat to run, even though you don't have to do it every time, it can make things easier on him." But Shanahan was also surprised to see that Lance ran 13 times for 54 yards in the 49ers' Week 1 loss to the Bears last year. And Shanahan added that he does not consider sneaks and scrambles as runs. Kyle, see, this is why I said, fam, Kyle does not think he's capable of throwing the ball. That's why people say, why don't Kyle run the same offense with him as he runs with Jimmy and Brock? Because he doesn't. That's not what he thinks about Trey. That was a red flag right there. You're not going to be able to run like he was running, because Kyle goes on to say the coaching staff sees it will ultimately dictate how often Lance runs. Shanahan explained further, saying, quote, "A lot of it has to do with options and stuff, but there's going to be weeks where it's like that. There's going to be weeks where there's less. There's going to be weeks where there's more, but there'll never be a week where there's not an option on any given down," unquote. With Lance's ability to run, the 49ers essentially have another running back at their disposal. That's pretty much what Kyle was thinking. Makes you think, though, doesn't it? As I was thinking, people say, well, if he run the same offense, but he won't, because that's not what he thinks Trey's here for. He thinks Trey's here to run, option on every damn down. So he got the boy hurt. And there's a value problem here, though, fam, with that pick he's talking about. Lance is still a quarterback who has been in their system for 2+ years. He's capable of starting and winning games. He really is. 49ers would really have to believe the worst in him as a player to cut ties with a quarterback for something like a 3rd-round pick. You picked him in the 1st round, Kyle. John? But the fact it's leaked that the Niners are receiving calls about Lance is a further indication of what we've already known based on this offseason. The 49ers love Brock Purdy. Oh, they love him to death. That's a done deal. Trading Lance would be the ultimate endorsement of Brock Purdy and pretty much just handing him the keys to the roles. On the franchise and the strength of his extremely productive rookie campaign, it would also tell us a lot about how the team thinks his recovery from off-season elbow surgery will go. But this has got to be something that happens within the next 7 days, right? Moving Trey before during the draft would leave the quarterback room with Purdy, Darnold, perhaps that boy from UCLA, fam. I'm telling you, man, you see the little breadcrumbs are being thrown around. And if you follow them, this is what it actually looks like. That situation puts a lot on Purdy's shoulders, though, in his 2nd season, but it appears to be a risk San Francisco may be willing to take. Fam, I'm coming to the phones tonight to ask you if Trey is going to be gone during this upcoming week, before or during the draft, or is this more to do about absolutely nothing? Jack's already in the Twitch. He's already in the oh, God. Jack's time of year, though. I was surprised he's been more often than this as far as the draft goes. Jack.
What's going on with you, pimp? How you doing?
Jack, I don't know, man. Being a 49er fan, you have to ask all of us how you doing. What would your answer be, Jack? It's tripping time again. You ain't got to do no drugs to be a 49er fan. Just sit back and watch.
This boy is gone. He should have never been there. I told you in 2021, if we go QB, get Justin Fields, because you and me wanted Kyle Pitts, if you remember. I got you on the Kyle Pitts train, and we would, even with Purdy, we would have probably hit that Super Bowl button. But I want you to listen to something that's very interesting. Please just listen to it for just 20 seconds of my time, everybody, because this is 2021, and I had to find this. Check this out. This is your boy Jack talking. I'm saying don't pass. Like I do, don't pass on Waddle, and then don't pass on Pittsburgh. If you're going quarterback, do not pass on Justin Fields. I'm telling you, don't pass on him. But if we do get a Lance or Jones, I'm gonna rock with it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see what one they draft him or whatever. But Justin Fields there all the goddamn way. Did you hear that, Ronbo?
And I heard it when you said it that year too. Justin Fields had as many or more supporters than anybody else in the draft.
Yeah, man. I told you I'd take him over the Jets quarterback too, the boy they drafted at number 2. But all I'm saying is, I got to be cocky about it. I'm not going to tell any, because everybody's getting the credit every year. Before even Jamal Adams, when I got divorced, Buckner, everybody gets the credit. Even when I said Brandon Ayuk. So listen, guys, I'm bringing it the day before the draft. I'm bringing it. That's the day that I'm going to tell you guys who I want, okay? And if it's a first round for Justin Fields, Trey Lance, if we get a first round pick for him, I'm going to tell you who we want in the first round. And the third round, just like I told George Pickens last year. And by the way, which quarterback did Big Show want in 2021?
It
he want
seemed
Trey
like
Lance? Did he want?
Show leaned toward Mac Jones. Yeah, but he didn't really endorse Mac, but he said Kyle wants him.
And yet this guy got the audacity to talk to the draft king, Jack, like that. How dare you? Huh? Because you know what? I got something for you, Big Show. I'm the ultimate warrior of this show, baby. When I come in that ring, you're going to feel me, baby. The draft king is gone, and you heard it right there, baby. We should have went with Justin Fields. I told you the boy didn't have mechanics. His accuracy sucks. You know what I'm saying? His thinking skills ain't there. He ain't quick to, you know what I'm saying, just to get rid of the ball real quick. He takes too much damn time. Okay? So I'm going to tell you guys my draft pick because I'm right every goddamn year. And Ronbo says it every year, baby. The draft king has left the building. Microphone dropped.
There he goes. He was the one who wanted Adams that year that we picked up Solomon T. Jack is usually, I'm trying to think what time he didn't make it, and we picked the wrong player. Solomon Thomas is still haunting us. So, but Jamal Adams, I don't know. I still think he'd have been a better player with us, though. Forrest Winston, it's big win. Robo, big win here. The Niners would be stupid to trade Trey. I know Brock did good, but he's not our future. And a lot of people feel that way, big win. A lot of people do not, especially out in Tennessee. In fact, Papa, the head of the Dragon Clan, has Pop. Come on in.
Howdy.
He's coming in George Kittle fashion. Pop, come on in, fam.
What's happening? All right, I love what's his name? The Draft King, the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah,
I love his phone call.
Jack.
I love his phone call because if you remember, Ronbo, I also told you who I liked, and I told you my person.
Justin.
It was Justin. But when I did the mock draft, who did I pick?
You picked Trey.
I picked Trey Lance, right? After I looked at all the film and everything, and I saw exactly what Kyle Shanahan doesn't like in a quarterback. He does not like to draft quarterbacks that come from a non-pro system.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you get Bobby Burkett from. Remember Patrick Mahomes played in a wide open, almost like a run and shoot type of an offense.
Yes.
Where he throws
what do they call it? Air raid? Yeah.
It was air raid, exactly. Throw a lot, lose a lot. This is what Patrick did.
Damn the INTs. We're scoring points. Yeah.
Yeah, our head coach is old school, y'all. He's old school. I'm gonna run the ball up the middle,
that's his
into the middle of the pile.
That's how he is. Block. Yeah.
Defense, run the ball. That's what he wants to do. So ultimately, he don't want to teach nobody nothing. He don't want to be patient, and he don't control his own team. He may control the final decision of personnel, but obviously he don't control who plays and who don't play. You can ask Jimmy Ward that.
Mm-hmm.
Was nobody coming to fight for Jimmy Ward's job when Jimmy was like, "Hey, well, you want to ride the bench?"
And I know, right? Can you
George
imagine
wasn't
talking
like,
about
"Hey,
that?
hey, hey."
Jimmy, I'm a grown ass man. What you? How about Ayuk? Same thing. Ayuk was in what doghouse, as they call it, for a few minutes because he had the nerve to try to launch a mutiny on the bounty. Jimmy, boy, Jimmy, he
Yeah, he
started
was.
too.
He was doing some childish stuff out there, throwing tantrums when Jimmy wasn't throwing the ball. I get it. I understand the frustration, but
Yeah,
you're no, that's us. That's our job to be crying and
yeah.
going
Let us
crazy.
let us complain. Yeah, you just
You know what I
play.
mean? So what we can rest assured is that the 49ers, they're not going to do the logical thing. They've only done it once that I can see, and that was with Bosa. And still, I was shaking in my boots like I didn't know if they were going to do the right thing. I was like, oh my, who are they going to do? It's going to be Kyler Murray. Who? You know what I'm saying? I didn't know.
Or Quinnen Williams.
Exactly what I'm
I
saying.
just
I didn't
thought I
know.
knew it was gonna be Quinnen
Quinn Williams.
because he
No,
ordered a
well,
salad at the Pancake House. They'll probably think he's very conscientious.
yeah,
A
yeah.
salad
So,
at IHOP? Are you crazy? Oh,
so I know what I would do, and I know what I wouldn't do. And what I wouldn't have done is draft a kid overall and make him sit behind Jimmy Garoppolo. I would have shipped off Jimmy right away. Jimmy has such a hold over that locker room, and the locker room has a hold over Kyle, right? Because he's got some leadership council thing he uses, aka the Cabo Click. All these cats are at the end of their careers. They want to win a Super Bowl. They don't want to follow a rookie quarterback or a learning quarterback, right?
yeah.
So all of a sudden, they had no choice, right? And they had to embrace it. And what did Brock do? Brock went and balled out. He balled out. We haven't seen quarterback play like that since Jeff Garcia.
Yeah.
Really, we haven't. He was
Especially
balling out.
as a rookie. That's
He was
just not.
balling
It's
out.
just not seen.
It's not seen. It's balling out. And so, obviously everyone looks at that like, oh, this is the guy, this is the man. But I always try to tell all y'all, and y'all don't listen. So please just listen one more time. It's physics. You take these little quarterbacks, get hit by these linebackers that can run 4.4 and 4.5,
Oh,
and defensive ends that run 4.7.
yeah.
And it's like a demolition derby, except you driving a Mini Cooper. You don't drive a Mini Cooper in a demolition derby. So when Tua Tagovailoa is sitting there saying, "Oh, I contemplated retire," yeah, you did, because you're getting bounced off the turf like a basketball. Because you're too small, dog.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's physics. It
Look
is
at
physics.
Kyler
We
Murray.
can't control physics.
Who
What
else
is it?
is tiny in the NFL and laying out? Kyler Murray, Tua,
Yeah.
our very own Brock Purdy, and that kid
Yeah,
Bryce.
there's
What's his name?
outliers.
Bryce out of Alabama. He's gonna be stretched
Yeah.
out in
Bryce
week
Young.
5. Yeah.
Oh, Lord. To me, that's third round pick all over it, but he's going to go 1 or 2. You see
I
what I'm
just hope they
saying?
don't kill him.
I don't think there's a first round in my book. There's no first round quarterback in this draft, but they're going to get overdrafted because of need, right?
Every year.
And everyone's going to find their little, ticks and tacks about these players and break them apart. Kind of like what they did with Justin Fields. Like, oh, he's got some kind of dyslexia, brain aneurysm, gasoline, whatever. I don't know. I never saw it on the field. What I saw was a tough quarterback who could run, but he needed to learn a pro game. And part of that pro game was footwork. And Justin Fields ain't got that. You go look at his passing stats, they are pedestrian. They really are. So once teams figure out,
he panics as soon as the ball snapped. You'll see him usually panic because he doesn't trust his offensive line. I don't blame him. And he's waiting. He's thinking about getting bailing. He's going to survive. But he survives, though, fam. They've smacked him around a couple of times, stretched him out he missed what, 2-3 games, but not a whole season.
He's going to have hip problems. As hard as he runs, as fast as he runs, as much hits as he's taken, he ain't gonna walk right for the rest of his life. So I'm just saying, between players like that, you name it, if you're tiny and you get smacked around like that, trust me, it's not good. Now, there are outliers.
Russell Wilson.
Steve Young was 6'1", 205. Although he said he was 6'2", he's 6'1".
I know, right? They always lie. Drew Brees, who Ahmad Brooks almost killed in one play.
Joe Montana was 178 pounds and ran for 100 yards in the Super Bowl. So the point is, there are outliers, but it's not the norm. And if there is one difference between today's NFL and the past NFL, it's how much faster and stronger these players are today. And Trey has learned that. I don't know if he's really learned it, because I knew he wasn't going to last long running up the middle. But not only was he running up the middle, even when he scrambled, he tried to run you over. I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? Yeah, you're gonna lose your job. And that's just that's the paradigm of the NFL. One reason why Brett Favre didn't miss a start in 16, 18 years or something is because he got his job because a quarterback got injured.
Mm-hmm.
Majkowski went down. Favre came off the bench. Majkowski kept his ass on the bench, rested for the rest of it. He was done.
You speak of
Brett Favre,
and also Brett had no problem laying down. What's that edge rusher that's got the record from New York? He's on Good Morning America.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Michael Strahan.
Michael Strahan. Brett just let him have it. Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead. Okay.
You got to learn how to fight for another bet, right? So
yeah, and then there's that.
I think everybody is tradable, right? If you get the right compensation, right? So what the 49ers are trying to sell you right now is bullshit. What they're selling you is bullshit because you can't sit there and say, oh, well, he's got to play. He's injury prone. These are words that came out of their mouth. He's a great kid. Give me a number two.
Yeah.
No, I'm not giving you a number two for injury prone great kid. I got to win football games.
Okay, well, work with me here. Give me a number 6.
I think what makes sense. I did bounce out the Vikings trade that they could pursue. Yeah. They could pursue that. Give them a bunch of picks and Trey, and then try to get a quarterback. And an ESPN guy retorted and said something different. So he was like, he wanted Nick Mullins. I'm like, why'd you want Nick Mullins? I don't care about Nick Mullins. He already busted him up and didn't look at him ever again. Right? So there's Nick Mullins.
Pop, we're going to have to come back. I guess we're going to come back as soon as possible because this week's going to be interesting. But we got to go now.
Yeah.
But as usual, Pop, you always bring great things to the table that are always food for thought.
Yeah, but but it's not going to matter what we decide to do right now, Ron. But the Niners are unpredictable. Always. I just know that if they don't get if they don't get something that they can use immediately, then this will be the worst trade. The worst trade in the history of the NFL since the Ricky Williams trade.
But Pop, as they say in Mandalore, this is the way.
Shit.
I mean,
I don't know, man.
I'm starting to think
I don't know.
they're wearing helmets around the office.
I don't want to see Josh Johnson next year. You know what, Ronbo? I want to see you out there.
Not a quarterback, though. They're not hitting me at 100 miles an hour, and I can't see him coming.
There's Ronbo Sports firing up the team pregame.
I get him going, baby. Pop, let me see you. Let me see you on Sunday. All right, fam.
All right, man. Yep.
Night, Pop.
All right.
Hey, Michael.
Hey, Ron, how's your night going, buddy?
It's Friday. Couldn't be any better. Talking 49ers
I know,
football.
right?
Yeah.
49ers football. I can't believe it's going to be a week from yesterday the draft starts. Holy crap.
I know,
wow,
right?
It's coming by quick.
These things
I'm
go,
nervous
especially when you go to preseason. When you go into postseason, it goes quickly every year. But what are you thinking about this trade situation?
I mean, for the Nick Mullins, no, I don't want Nick Mullins. I have enough for Nick Mullins. Dude, if I want Nick Mullins, hell no. I'd better off keeping Trey for Nick. Because we already know what Nick Mullins gives us. We already know what Nick Mullins gives us. Garbage. And my quarterback coach from high school said, you got to give this kid Trey a chance, man. Forget about trading the kid. Because he said, you trade him, it might be a curse, for the rest of our life.
Like
it could be a
Babe
curse.
Ruth.
This was a Yankee curse for Babe Ruth.
Yeah, I knew you could think about Babe. There's more, too, that doesn't get as much limelight. But Babe, since he hit more home runs than anybody other than Hank Aaron and others, is there a couple more people to count that record? Anyway, you need to be legendary, though, for people to remember.
Yeah. Oh, I want to keep Trey. I don't care. I want to keep the kid. Let's play the kid next year. Let's just play him. Put him on the track and let's see what he goes. He might do good. You don't know.
Michael, you know how Pop just said about the veterans in the room that have to win that Super Bowl right now? This is why.
Yeah. Oh, the veterans, yeah, but you can understand. Look how many other veterans are out there that hasn't won a Super Bowl and they've been out there longer.
I know, but you know, if Trey comes in and doesn't look like Brock Purdy, they're going to start whining. That's just the reality.
You know what I tell Trey? I'll tell Trey. Know what you need to do with the whiners? Give them pinkies. Tell them to be quiet. I'm running the show now.
I understand he's very commanding in the huddle, so maybe.
Yeah, I mean, we already know Darnold. I'm afraid if you put Darnold in there, and an INT alert.
He looked different last year. Maybe he's over that hump.
Yeah, he looked different. Yeah, he might look different.
But here's the thing. Darnold looked different last year, and it goes for a lot of quarterbacks. Trey could look different this year, too. So let's see what he looks like in camp. And maybe, maybe he might win.
Yeah, and then that UCLA quarterback, I hope we get him. But, I'm afraid like other teams might jump ahead of us and get him. That's what I'm afraid of.
That's the 49ers want.
There's teams out there.
They're setting it up so he can get drafted so they can get who they want. See, the 49ers aren't fooling me with that little joke anymore. Anybody else, they make a damn fool out of it. Because they make a damn fool out of at least 2 or 3 GMs every year. That guy in Chicago picking up Trubisky.
Yeah. And then what was that thing that the Niners looked into the other running back from Texas, the backup running back they were looking at? They you know what I mean, the rookie running back from Texas, the second backup, the Niners were looking at him too.
Yeah, I remember watching that game. He was good last year.
Yeah, no,
right?
I think it was on Cohen or a Kruger show they were talking about it. I think the Kruger show on YouTube, I think he told us something about it.
But the 49ers were looking at that. I was watching that game when I watched the Texas maybe once or twice last year. Yeah. Was he out there doing that damage? Was that him? He was with the 49ers organization for a minute, and they were looking at him and didn't get him?
He's going to be drafted next week. He can be drafted next week, 3rd, 4th round.
He's still yet to come. Okay.
Yeah, no. He's the kid that remember that guy that might be a first-round draft pick, the running back from Texas? He's the backup behind that guy. But the Niners were looking at him, the backup running back from Texas.
See, okay, we're gonna get a running back in the 3rd round again.
Yeah, we always get a running back. That's Kyle's favorite thing.
No,
running back, 3rd round.
Michael, this is the only last 2 years. Normally we wait till the UDFAs.
Yes. I think why he wants to get another running back is that guy from LSU. I don't think he's going to be that good.
Ronbo, I don't mean to interrupt. It's a big show. His name is Roschon Johnson out of Texas.
Yeah.
Roschon Johnson.
He's a backup guy, Yeah, but there was a backup Texas running back too. Yeah.
Well,
the first round draft pick is going to be the starting. Yes.
We get another running back this year, and they don't let him play. I think somebody's going to have some complaints because come on, Kyle.
No,
you guys, stop picking up these guys.
Offensive line and tight end. You got to look for another tight end. There's a couple good tight ends I saw. One guy is from Cincinnati. That's supposed to be good. Cincinnati tight end.
I think they're going to draft into the 2nd round. I think the 49ers are trying to get into the 2nd round.
I think there's going to be a 2nd round. I think somebody from the 49ers is going bye-bye. And I don't know who it could be, but it's a mystery. Everybody thinks it's going to be a Uke. I might go.
No, Michael, that's not going to happen. I feel very secure in saying that one. I'm confident Ayuk is not leaving. He's too good, Michael.
No.
He is too good.
No. I would trade Debo over him.
Yeah. So
I would give up Debo because Debo, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Debo's he's a what do you call Debo? He's a gadget. He's not a receiver and he's not a running back, but he is both. And he does both kind of well. He's a better running back than he is a receiver because Debo's not going to beat anybody out on a route run. But he does well with that. He's not bad. He can run a slant. He's limited in what he can do, though.
My main thing, I want to see Danny Gray play next year. I got to see Danny Gray. I don't care.
If
Trey plays, Gray plays. If Trey plays, Danny Gray plays. That's how I look at it.
I doubt it.
No, I doubt it either.
There's something wrong with Danny Gray. People are blaming it on the quarterbacks, but Kyle would not keep him on the bench if he really could play.
Mentally, something wrong with him.
He's not blocking.
I think there's mentally something wrong.
No, he's not blocking.
I think he's afraid. I think there's something wrong with Danny Gray. We don't see it as a fan, but I think in an organization they do see something that's probably going to be a red flag. I hate to say it, but you know what I mean.
It's true.
You know,
And
if a guy
Kyle's
doesn't
made
like
that.
to block,
He's made that
we
clear.
can-
If you don't block, you're not playing.
I mean, nope. If I don't block, I'm going to go bye-bye. I'm going to get cut.
Yeah.
You're supposed to block if you're a receiver, not sit there and look pretty.
That's Kyle. You know, even the lightest
And
weight
then
guys.
I'm hoping. Now, has anybody heard any updates about the kicker that's still sitting there free agency, Mr. Gold? I wonder what's going on with Mr. Gold. He's been quiet. Maybe
No,
draft
Gold's-
time. Maybe try.
Yeah, I have. Robbie's that's it. He's still negotiating with the 49ers, period. And he's looking to sign on with a team that's hopefully a winner. And he says if Chicago calls, he would take that job immediately.
I think if I was Mr. Gold, I think I'd come back to Frisco.
No, he doesn't even want to talk to San Francisco. He's done. He made that
doesn't?
very clear in a
Hey,
statement.
Ronbo, I don't mean to interrupt like Big Show, but I'm the draft king.
Thanks, Jack. I actually have that documented. If anybody wants to know,
The draft.
yeah. Jack is the draft
Right.
king.
The draft king.
He's pretty accurate every year in his
Hey,
picks.
like I said, I'll be doing my football fantasy soon. Probably around July, I'll be doing my ESPN fantasy league for football. So I got my luck. I'll pick Mr. McCaffrey as my first pick. I know that.
I tell you, I did. People
No,
laughed
but
at
it's the
me.
first pick I'm going after. Yeah.
Like,
I
we
just
gotta-
hope next week's draft is going to be a good draft. That's what I'm hoping. There might be a lot of surprises. You'll see a lot of surprises.
There always is. Michael, let's see you Sunday, okay? Great stuff.
Yeah, I will.
All right.
You too, man. You have a good night. Good night,
You
49
too.
Empire.
Good night, Michael. Let's go
Night.
check out. Hey, let's get him down there. Tony.
Ronbo.
Well, Tony, here we go. And who would have seen this coming? When we drafted Trey, it was nothing but lights and fireworks and sparkles. 2 years later, here we are. The 49ers are talking of possibly landing. Well, they're landing phone calls right now, and they are open for a Trey Lance trade. Who would have thought?
Well, what's the difference between Trey and Brock, Ronbo?
One's up. No, well, you know what? I was about to say one's healthy and one's not, but no. One's.
That's not it.
I don't know.
4 years versus
Oh, well,
1 year.
those are variables. Yeah. Experience is everything.
So maybe they've come to the realization that more experience means better transitioning into the NFL.
Well, if they didn't, they do now.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
And Kyle says that Trey's advantages because he can run. Is that Trey's advantage or is it Kyle's advantage?
I know.
Is
And
he trying
and like you
to
say,
butter it up in a
Trey
different
doesn't have
way?
experience. He doesn't know what you're talking about. Kyle says I don't consider scrambles and sneaks as running either. What? Kyle, if he gets out of trouble and runs, you don't consider that a run? Kyle wants to have design runs. I told you he's a control freak, and you knew it anyway. I want design runs. I'll tell him when to run. Otherwise, throw the ball. I was surprised when he ran the ball 13 times, 54 yards. I didn't tell him to do that. Well, Kyle, let him be a football player, Kyle. Jesus.
Exactly. The only way, in my opinion, Rombo, that they're going to trade Trey is let's have a look at how the draft works, and that is the only way they're going to trade him is if they get a pick where straight after they trade him, they're the next ones to pick. Otherwise, you risk a double cross, someone effing you over, and picking the pick that you just traded Trey for.
I think they get an understanding before they close the deal. Okay, I want to pick up blah blah. You got any interest in him? Well, no. Okay, well listen, I'm going to put you up ahead of me, and you can run interference, and then I can get this pick. Are we on the same page? Okay. And Tony, I'll bet you that's exactly how it goes.
They have to be the next pick to pick the quarterback that they want if they're going to trade Trey. Otherwise, if they're not, they're going to end up keeping him.
And Tony doesn't necessarily have to be a quarterback, though.
Well, that's what they're going for, Ronbo. If they're going to trade Trey, what else are they going to go for?
The 49ers just want to
You're
get...
just gonna. Who are you gonna go? Who are you gonna start the season with? I mean,
Well-
it's known as a fact, right? It's known as a fact that it took Nick Mullins 12 months to start throwing like he did before the injury. So
Tony,
who are you going to go?
Tony.
Half-assed bloody,
Say it. It's
not
Sam.
fully recovered. Well,
They
Turn
got
on the
Sam
machine.
Darnold. Tony, mark my words. They got Sam Darnold. They made it look like, well, he's going to come in and compete with Trey. They know he can beat Trey. If Trey had a year or so under his belt,
Really?
it would be a competition. But there's no
I
way Trey's going to
disagree.
outplay Darnold. I just don't see it. I could be
I
wrong.
do.
Do you?
I do. I see how he can outplay him because I mean, you go with a turnover machine, Ronbo, or are they hedging their bets that they can stop the turnovers? I mean, how do you do that? It's a habit, like smoking cigarettes. You know what I mean?
Though, seeing the clip I saw last week, Darnold doesn't look like that now. He went around some corner. He looked just like Kyle wants a quarterback to look. He's hitting the short routes. He's hitting the quick routes. He's going downfield when he needs to. He's running out of the pocket when necessary. Sam Darnold may have had 1 or 2 INTs at the most in those 6 games or 4 games, whatever it was the place. He doesn't look like he used to. And that's the only reason why they brought him in. And Kyle's been crazy about that dude since the draft.
Yeah, well, you could picture him, and Kyle sitting in a Roman bath with their G-strings on. Put Kyle's hand around his shoulders, whispering sweet nothings into his ear. Are you going to listen to Daddy? Are you going to listen to Daddy? I'll make you lots of money. I'll make you lots of money.
But he's 6'3", and he makes decisions quickly, albeit some of them are not good. But he seems to have corrected something. I don't know if the coach there worked with him, but the theory is Kyle can make you better.
Bullshit.
Yeah, you and me both.
Kyle could make you better. He would have picked Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, well, if he had better judgment,
Well, we know he's got bad judgment because he hasn't selected one quarterback that's got him over the line. Right? And is that going to continue with this guy?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How are we going to start the season? Who are we going to start the season with? There's no one's gone out, no receivers, no quarterbacks have gone out practicing together. It's just all up in the air.
Well, it is. And Trey's got to come in, and Trey's working hard. I don't think he's leaving us either. I think he's going to make it into camp. But Trey's working hard. I just don't see the experience factor. Darnold's been in the league how many years now? 4? Yeah, that's too much. And then last year he looked like he'd figured things out. I really.
Well, I think a lot of teams in the NFL looked at Brock Purdy, and I think a lot of teams in the NFL now are saying to themselves, "Well, look how easy this kid transitioned into the NFL."
Mm-hmm.
And when you start deciphering all the facts and figures and shit like that, you say, well, it's because he's had more hits than Elvis and he's got and in college, and he's got 4 years experience. There's a difference between 4 years of copying hits in a rough game like this and 12 months and you're projected to become a superstar. So I think that showed the NFL a lot, and it showed them to just be careful who you pick. Are you picking with your brain or are you picking with your heart?
Mm-hmm.
Like one little highlight reel doesn't determine the outcome of
That's
the
why
rest
it's a
of the
highlight
season.
reel. Exactly.
That's right. So my problem is Brock Purdy. I'm of the belief that maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think he's going to be ready to start.
Yeah,
and we've got Lance and this other guy. All right, so if Brock Purdy's not ready to start, we need another quarterback.
They're going to get one.
What happens if one of them goes down, injured?
Yeah.
We're down to one.
Yeah, and drafting one is
So
not
we
going
need
to be
another one.
ready. They're going to draft one, Tony. Guarantee you they're going to draft one. If that kid from UCLA is available in the 3rd round, he will be a 49er. I don't think they're kidding about this. Every now and then they do spend a lot of time with one player in the draft and let everybody see it happening. But I think they're serious this time.
And if they don't draft one in the draft, they'll wait till someone's undrafted and they'll pick one of them.
Or go get a veteran. There's a few left. Tony,
Yeah.
let's get together Sunday and continue with this. See what happens next.
And Rudy, if you're listening, I hope you've fucking been to the drugstore, mate, to get those suppositories, right? Because you're going to need them. Get some Vaseline while you're there, bro. Make it easy on yourself.
He still has the best attendance record, and people buy more alcoholic beverages at SoFi than they do in San Francisco or at Santa Clara. Good, Rudy. That helps the team win. All right.
Yeah, that's a good observation, isn't it?
Hey, Tony, I'll see you on Twitter as we bounce him like a basketball back and forth.
All right, brother.
All right, man.
Shout out to everyone and the Empire and everyone. I'll catch you in the next chapter.
Looking forward to it. Cheers, Tony.
Cheers, brother.
And it's a big show. It's a big show on tonight. Show.
What's up, Ronbo?
So I already told you, and as we were talking, we're going to do shows draft this Sunday because I was waiting, and sure enough, I was right. Another dramatic thing happened. So you know what? There may be something happening again between now and Monday or Tuesday. Anyway, I know you're going to be ready.
That's exactly why I send you multiple mocks, because the news changes so quickly. It's hard to keep. It's hard to stick with one draft. You know what I mean? So,
you know how many mocks have done just what you did and have Lance being traded in the early rounds because the 49ers are still trying to get compensation for his pick. I looked around. I said, my God, everybody's using Trey as a piece. Oh my God. So go ahead.
Now that you brought his name up, there's no future for Trey Lance here. I understand there are still some fans of his who are going through the 5 stages of grief right now, and they're currently in the first stage of denial. The 49ers have been, I disagree with Papa Dragons. They are predictable. Dogs are unpredictable. Cats are unpredictable. Fish are unpredictable. Sharks are unpredictable. You know, the whole ecosystem's unpredictable. The 49ers, however, are not. They show their cards every now and then, which is what they are doing now, like every other team does during the draft. They're meeting with multiple quarterbacks. They've been doing their homework extensively on DTR, who they met with multiple times. And no team in the NFL, all other 31 teams in the NFL, do not carry 3 quarterbacks come game day. They only carry 2. And if we draft a quarterback this year, that means Trey Lance is gone. They're perfectly comfortable starting with Sam Darnold week 1. Should that be the case, if Brock Purdy is not completely healthy.
Hey, wait.
That's exactly why that Kyle brought him in, because they had loved the kid for 5 years.
Michelle, how many quarterbacks did we carry in camp though last year? Before we got
honestly, I think it was just one. Brock Purdy.
Jimmy was on the sidelines throwing all by himself over in the corner.
Yeah, he wasn't even in the conversation.
Sudfeld, there was 3. Sudfeld, but they got rid of one, like you said.
Sudfeld that was there, but they got rid of Sudfeld really quick.
Yeah, as soon as they got a chance, they let him go.
Yeah,
and then you're right.
Which was a smart decision on their part. So, I'm so glad they didn't get rid of Brock Purdy over Sudfeld. But if Brock Purdy is not fully healthy and ready to throw week 1, then enter Sam Darnold, and then we'll go with the rookie quarterback that we draft. At some point, Trey is going to be traded either during the draft or it has to be during the draft, because if they're going to be drafting a quarterback, which is like a 90% chance that I believe is going to happen, because they've been doing their homework on quarterbacks again this draft season, which you and I said last year they're definitely going to be drafting one, and people thought we were crazy. And there's no world where we're going to keep 3 quarterbacks. You can't.
That's true. And you know something, Trey. Show the fact of the matter is the 49ers keep putting themselves at disadvantageous. You can't let everybody know. Listen, we've got to make this deal. Well, I'm going to come in if whatever team I'm representing. Hey, John, listen. Before you start with your spiel, just save it. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to give you, and you say yes or no, or else we don't have time. We don't need to waste each other's time. That's just what they've done. Every GM can play that card now.
As far as the 2021 draft goes, I was basing my selection off of the history of Kyle Shanahan, of quarterbacks Kyle Shanahan has coached. Kyle Shanahan has never had the opportunity to draft quarterbacks, so we don't know exactly who he would have loved to have drafted in 2021 because this is the first time in his career that he's actually got to hand select his own quarterback in the draft. So I looked at the history of who he's coached in Matt Schaub, who he's coached in Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
And in Cleveland, he didn't coach Johnny Manziel, really.
That's why he left Cleveland, remember?
Yeah.
Because of Manziel.
And Kirk Cousins, he coached.
No, there's a pattern.
Based off of those 3 quarterbacks, those were all
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones screamed
style.
All of those quarterbacks.
Huh?
Exactly. And Kyle came out and admitted later on that he was really into Mac Jones, and he was thinking about Trey Lance as well. But we all knew who he really wanted. Somebody had just talked him out of, I believe his name is Ron Catron in Tennessee now, and the other guy is Adam Peters. Talked him out of
time out. Did
Mac
you say
Jones.
Ron Catron talk Kyle out of Mac Jones?
I think he had some say into that. You know what I mean? Because he was part of the draft. He was part of the scouting department at the time when he was with us.
Because you know where he's at. Tannehill seems to have secured his position in Tennessee, but wow. I think you're right, though.
I truly believe he was talked out of Mac Jones, and lo and behold, he showed his cards of how he really felt towards Trey Lance by running him up the middle, and lo and behold, he got injured because of that, and he really didn't want him. That's his way of saying, I didn't want Trey Lance. I believe the way he played called for him.
Wouldn't you like to have a candid moment where Kyle would be honest with you? Kyle, if you had it to do over again, which quarterback would you take? You wonder what he would say?
It would be Mac Jones. I think that's what he would say.
I wouldn't bet against that.
I mean, I would put everything on that. That's who I truly believe who he truly wanted. And hence, bringing in Sam Darnold, hello. Similar quarterback, just a little bit bigger, more athletic.
One that he knows how to work
I mean, come on, people.
And
that's the kind of quarterback he really likes.
Yeah, I know.
And they've been in love with him ever since 2018, but they knew they couldn't get him in 2018 because we were at pick 9. And you saw the comments they made about him in the owners' meeting this year. They were extremely high on him. So
Kyle wanted him a long time ago. He was going to get rid of Jimmy to get him.
Yeah.
But the Jets got not the Jets. He went. Where did he go after he left the Jets? Did he go to Carolina?
I think it was Carolina. Yeah. And not only that, Ronbo, Frank Gore's out there
telling everybody.
Sam Darnold he said he would fit in great here.
And Jed
not
York
only Frank Gore, but
is saying
Jed
the same
York
thing.
Exactly.
That's what I knew. Lights out, because I said they didn't make that up. They said that.
Yeah. I mean, Sam Darnold's going to be the starter week 1 if Brock Purdy's not ready. Bottom line. And then they're going to go with a kid they draft in the draft this year. There's just no. Unfortunately, there's no future for Trey, and it's unfair to him to keep him on the bench this year, and his value is going to go down even more if we don't play him at all this year. Which is why they need to get they need to trade him just this year. You know what I mean? They could get at least a second and a fourth for him
Otherwise,
this year. It doesn't make sense to wait another year.
Otherwise, you ruined his whole life and career. You really did. And
Exactly. This is the denial phase that some of his fans are currently going through. Like, they don't understand. You cannot keep him for another year and have him sit on the bench. You can't keep him and he comes out, plays 2 or 4 games, and then looks like crap, and then his value goes down even more, or his value goes down even more if he sits on the bench. Come on.
He'll never.
That's not how football works.
I know. So we're gonna go. See what I did there?
So
we're gonna go. And I'll see you Sunday, and let's see what's next.
Yeah, for sure, fam. All right, shout out to everyone. Shout out to Papa Dragons. All right, shout out. All right, good night.
Night show. See, these are not, and it's just not taking sides. These are some of the harsh realities of Trey Lance's situation now. He needs to play now or risk ruining an entire career before it even gets off the ground. Unfortunately, some of the accidents and pain and suffering that he's done with the injuries and everything, Kyle has already said his strength is his ability to run at any given time, and when I tell him to run. So, I don't know why. He's had 1 year, Kyle. If you picked him up for those reasons, to think you were going to be able to mold him into what you're trying to mold him into, this was a mistake and you ought to be shamed. That really is bad. Hey, yo, Jalen. Nah.
Cliff Kingsbury got the boot. Pete Carroll still chewing on that nasty goop. And Sean McVay play called like some poop. It stinks, Ronbo. Now, what's the word, Ronbo? What's the word?
We're looking at Trey, and now, when I first heard that the 49ers are fielding calls for any deal involving Trey Lance, I said, "Man, come on, man, y'all, man, you just you throw anything at the 49er fan base. We ain't buying it." Now, after a few days, you know what? Maybe they are. Maybe they are fielding phone calls. I said, how do you make that up? Why would you make that up?
I said it multiple times with you. Multiple times. Trey Lance had no business being taken at number 3. We should have drafted Justin Fields. I think it was Papa Dragon that just came in and said we should have took Justin Fields. Justin Fields should have been taking that too.
Same thing.
God damn it. He should have been taking that too, but we know how big of a fuck up the Jets are. So they took that.
And they proved
we
that,
both
didn't they?
poo-poo the fool. We both poo-poo the fool. So Justin Fields got taken in front of an idiot and an enigma. Ronbo. And yeah, his stats look bad. Justin Fields' stats look bad, but look at his coaching, Ronbo. Bad coaching can lead to bad quarterback play. Because guess what? Trevor Lawrence threw 17 interceptions his rookie year because he had Urban Meyer as a coach. And we know Trevor Lawrence is not a 17 interception quarterback. Trevor Lawrence right now is the top, I want to say 7 to 6 quarterback right now.
No,
I'm taking him over Jalen Hurts. I'm taking Trevor Lawrence over Jalen Hurts. Hands down, no thinking about it. Hands down, no thinking about it. I understand Jalen Hurts look good this year, but if you telling me you would take Jalen Hurts over Trevor Lawrence, that's insane.
Not me.
I
agree.
Look at what Nathaniel Hackett did to Russ, Ronbo. Bad coaching can lead to bad.
And look what he did to Jones. I know, right? Danny Dimes is like, that's a whole big swing turnaround. I mean, that's not the same guy I remember. I mean, wow. So you're right.
I mean, Justin Fields, he haven't had the best coaching, so that's why his throwing stats don't look the best because he trying to play hero ball, Ronbo. He out there every play trying to make
too much of him. Exactly. He needs to have a good supporting cast.
I mean, and for all these fans that come in here and say, man, Ronbo, we need to. If Kyle gets fired, he'll get picked up in a heartbeat. Well, I mean, Ronbo, I'm not a head coach or GM genius, but if I was looking for an offensive coordinator, I would want either a former player or a former head coach as well. I mean, any head coach that gets fired is going to get picked up immediately because they have experience. If Matt LaFleur gets fired from the Packers, he will get picked up immediately as offensive coordinator because he's been a head coach. Who wouldn't want a head coach as their offensive coordinator or as a coordinator on their team?
The experience, and they've been around the element to a level that, now they should be able to handle themselves. Agreed.
So, I mean, all these people saying, Ronbo, if we get rid of Kyle Shanahan, you know how fast he get picked up? A lot of head coaches would get picked up fast. How many people wanted Cliff Kingsbury when the Cardinals fired him? He just said, hey, I'm taking this money and I'm going to take a year off.
Jalen,
So
who's your
I
favorite
mean,
coach though outside? You know, if Andy Reid was coming right over tomorrow, the next day afterward, it'd be easy to relax. What I don't want is a complete basket case to come in running the 49ers immediately afterward, and then we got to go join the Rams in the pit of misery. You know what I mean? This is my only fear because a bad coach can ruin a good team. Yeah, I mean, you just mentioned it. That's my problem.
coach can ruin a lot of things, Ronbo. But I mean, I haven't been really looking at coaching. And as far as coach as Kyle in this whole fire situation, I'm done saying that he needs to be fired. I'm not gonna keep saying that because we do need him, and right now he is the best option. But Ronbo, if Kyle Shanahan doesn't get a ring next year, he doesn't need a new contract.
Yeah.
So regardless of what happens these next few years, if Kyle goes 0-30 these next 2 years, I don't think he should be fired those next 2 years. If as soon as his contract is up, if he hasn't done anything, that contract doesn't need to be renewed.
And
He needs to be playing for a new contract. He's coaching for a new contract at this point. So Kyle, if you don't get it done, dude, you don't need to be extended or renewed. Hands down, I'm thinking about it.
But Jalen, you remember when we had Trent Baalke in the fun bunch up there running things? You know, this is like what I don't. You went through that because you've been watching long enough now to know that Trent Baalke and company was a disaster. Most 49ers run suicide watch almost on a weekly basis. So you get Kyle and John in here. At least they know something about football. These are football guys, right? But you got Trent Baalke in there manipulating Jed York because Jed York doesn't know anything.
Harbaugh, they all hate, like that whole situation. I heard like Harbaugh.
They're at each other's throat. They're not working together. You know, they look like the White House, right? Republicans, Democrats fighting on a daily basis and not getting a damn thing done for the U.S. nation. So you know, I want harmonious activity inside my
Ronbo, but sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can't always. It's cool to be like friends and have a good relationship, but sometimes you need to be able to put your foot down and say, "All right, Kyle, no, we're not doing it." Because I guarantee you, Trey Lance had to been like a pressure pick, Ronbo. You ever seen a scene in a movie where the guy's saying, "Oh man, I got the answer." He goes to his friend and he say, "This is the answer." He's like, "No, man, that's not it." And then the question comes up and then he just panics and says something random. I think that's what Kyle did with Trey Lance. Because I think he really wanted to take Mac Jones, and they was like, "Kyle, you're not taking Mac Jones at 3." Oh, I was just kidding. All right, let's take Trey.
Did Trey, you're right, because I think some of the pressure from outside actually did make Kyle say, "All right." I really do. Because Mac Jones is his kind of quarterback.
Mac Jones is good, Ronbo. He's a Pro Bowl level quarterback. He just had a defensive coordinator calling his plays.
Yeah, and he didn't have no receiving room. You know, that's why other people don't realize Mac Jones had two guys. Kendrick Bourne was probably his best receiver. Now, what does that tell you? You know, those things will have an impact on the quarterback. You can't play
Ronbo
without.
Let me ask you something. What can Mac Jones do that Kirk Cousins can't? Mac Jones is a better quarterback physically than Kirk Cousins, and he can get better than him mentally. So I'm taking Mac Jones over Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is the biggest, done the least with the most.
I mean, the band is people his way
wow.
Give
It's
him a blank check.
It's people who do more with less. Kirk Cousins does less with more. How the hell are you doing less with more?
Ooh, he had a receiving core. Oh, yes.
And we still talking about Ronbo. We got people in the comments. He threw for 4,000 yards, 5 years. Ronbo. He's had Pro Bowlers. I mean, Jameis Winston led the league in passing yards because he had Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. So your weapons definitely can make your stats look good. So I don't want to hear nothing about Kirk Cousins threw 4,000 yards and he's throwing to literally two people that's putting up 1,500 by themselves.
All I need, you can give me Jefferson. Get me the rest of the guys can they can go and play. And you give me some average or second tier of wide receivers. Jefferson is a monster. I'll abuse any defense in the league.
With Dalvin Cook. With Dalvin Cook in the backfield. That you gotta respect. You got
Man,
come on now. I don't want to hear no more Kirk Cousins talk. This
Jay,
man has not done.
we had too much fun. The clock whipped out. We see Sunday though, fam. All right.
Man, Ronbo, we still the kings of the West. Kyler and that 2-inch knee need a 2-year rest. And Gene, D, and Rudy can keep whining because the 49ers will always be the best. Let's not forget, Nick Mullins on national TV with the world watching beat them sorry ass Raiders. Raiders. Oh yeah, and Eagles. Adrian, I couldn't beat the Chiefs, Adrian. I'm sorry. Eat your Philly sandwiches, you bitches.
Let's see you Sunday, Jalen. Oh God, I love his rhymes so much. Those guys got thick skin, though. They still be hanging in there for more abuse. Yo, Ellis! Ellis.
My business.
Ellis.
Yo.
As we head toward draft night, now you look around the mocks, and people got my boy Trey as a piece to use for a trade. See, I don't think it's going to happen myself. I just don't see it. You know, that would mean the 49ers would have to admit they made a mistake. They ain't never going to do that. They'll find another way to smooth out of that and make themselves look good. So I figure this is all a lot of talk. But it's happening. So, and Big Show is right about if they do draft a quarterback, what does that mean? Ellis, your speculations.
How many quarterbacks do we have last year? And how many quarterbacks did we lose last year?
Yeah, I know, right? And,
so
the legislation wouldn't pass, though. You can't have a house full of quarterbacks on your roster. But, the 49ers they're going to go 3. No doubt about that.
Yeah. So, with that being said, just because we draft a quarterback doesn't mean shit. It's not like, we're drafting another quarterback, so that means this and that. It's all speculative, and at the end of the day, we can keep one of those. We can keep a fourth on the practice squad, or we can cut a guy and then put him on the practice squad or whatever. Whichever quarterback that we end up drafting. That doesn't mean anything. I mean, we paid Nate Sudfeld and got rid of him last year. I mean, we forgetting all this shit.
Paid him first. Nate must have said, "Yeah, all right, tough work, good job, you can get it."
and then turned around and got a contract from another team in the same season and got paid again.
Pimping.
So
league.
Cut the shit. Yeah, cut the shit, man. This is it's not because they want to get rid of Trey. Trey is the most experienced and has been with us. Is the longest tenured quarterback on this damn team.
At currently quarterback, okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, exactly. So with that being said, having Brock on the team and him, they're the two that are most acclimated with the offense, the system, and everything, top to bottom. Getting Trey's an asset. He still has too much value. Trying to get rid of him right now for a fourth or something it's embarrassing to even talk like that. And only the people that don't like Trey or don't care or don't want him on the team are going to say some shit like that. I'll get a fourth for him. I'll get a third and a future 6th rounder. Yeah, y'all can, man.
That's bad. You got to get something. If you can't get a 1st or 2nd round pick, then just, I don't know. Just let him try out.
There's no point.
Let him see if he can beat the spot out. Get it. Let him win. Do something. But don't embarrass yourselves.
If you can get a 1st round, please. And it's not going to be a situation where they trade him for absolutely nothing. Now, I heard something earlier about Elijah Mitchell, Trey, Brandon Ayuk, and Javon Kinlaw all being potential trade candidates.
Now
those can all be different. Those
Yeah.
can all be different,
No, this
you
is
know, different individual trades, or you can package, two player. When I brought that up a couple of years ago, somebody said that they don't do it like that, where you don't, package a player or two. It's not like basketball or whatever. But I don't understand why not. Why you can't do that. So if they just potentially, let's just say, if they were all on the trade block and we did end up trading them all, then those would be 4 different
well,
things that we would get compensated for.
contract issues, though.
At least a first round pick.
Yeah, dead cap and that type of thing. Contract issues. The NFL's got a hard
And that
cap
as well.
and it translates into a lot of strange things on the contracts. So you can't have 2 dead cap hits in one transaction, or else you're spinning your wheels.
It goes, and Javon Kim, let's not forget, those are all first round picks except Elijah Mitchell. Those are all first round picks except Elijah Mitchell.
That's
like
what I'm saying.
I said.
It's risky. I mean, it's expensive.
But I'm not. Look, that's what I mean. It doesn't. None of this shit makes sense, and neither does the Trey Lance thing. Now it goes down. The $9 million cap hit goes down if we trade him. If we were to trade him after June.
Oh yeah, I'm saying.
Yeah,
it
changes.
increases
It
to
goes down a
11
little
mil.
bit, but it's still a hit. It's still a hit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it gets bigger.
It's still a hit either which way. We don't have the money for that, so it's not going to happen. If anybody was gone, it would be Brandon Ayuk. He's the most. He's what we can get the most for right now. We can't get shit for Trey because he hasn't been able to play, and nobody's going to give us what we got for him. Now, if he came and he balled out this year, and then let's just say hypothetically we waited for Brock or gave him a year, or whatever the case may be. But Trey ups his stock, and then Brock comes back, and he's looking great. He comes in halfway through the season, whatever, or doesn't come in. He gets a full year. If they want to sever ties with Trey and try to get something then at that point, I mean, so be it. At the end of the day, he needs to get his opportunity, and it just may not be here. It's we just should have never honestly drafted him if we expected him to be able to come in and start right away or take the spot from Jimmy. Let's be clear. There's not one quarterback that Kyle would have been okay and secure with putting over Jimmy that would have came in that we could have got. Not Zach Wilson, not Trevor Lawrence, not Justin Fields, none of them.
True.
Because he likes comfort. None of those guys were going to come in and learn the system and outdo Jimmy from the giddy up. They were going to sit the damn bench until Jimmy got hurt, or sit the bench the whole season, or until Jimmy got hurt, then they would get put into the fold. So none of those guys were going to come to the 49ers and start right off the bat. We were going to keep Jimmy.
And else, don't forget about the connection between the locker room veterans who said, "Coach, I got 2-3 years left at most. I ain't got time for him to train." That you're going to get that. And we had too many vets on that unit. There was a Super Bowl team, and I said that's not going to happen. You don't have time for Trey to come in and learn, especially guys like Trent Williams.
And that's where that's where the screw up was.
Yeah.
That's where the screw up was. Drafting someone that would at least need they all would have needed time at the end of the day. Then what was the point of even drafting a quarterback if you guys weren't going to give him the opportunity to learn? I mean, look at Jordan Love. He's just barely, he still doesn't even look like he's going to be able to have any life. We might not see Jordan Love do shit until he gets traded to another team. I mean, he's going to want out of Green Bay at some point.
He has to.
Well, what's going on with Aaron Rodgers? Is he really going to the Jets? I thought he's staying.
No, the Jets, the Green Bay's going to make him wait. They said the Green Bay's are already talking. You know what? We don't owe Aaron Rodgers any money until the season starts day 1 in September. So choke on that, Jets, and you too, Aaron. You SOB. I think there's some hatred between Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers right now.
That's why I don't want him. That's why I don't want him to ever be. I don't want him coming to San Francisco because he's going to piss everybody off. He's going to piss us all off. He's going to start doing all of that, all that whining and crying, and he's going to be clashing with Kyle. He's an asshole. You know what I mean?
And he loves drama. And especially when people blame him for not winning the Super Bowl again. Ellis?
He likes that attention, but yeah.
Oh, God, yes. I mean, I tell you what, I will see you
man,
Sunday.
get over it. Get over it. We don't have the money to sign any first round pick this year. We got to we got to get some restructures and stuff still just to be able to, sign our draft picks that we got and be able to delegate the funds to the guys that we need to. And we still got to sign Nick Bosa. I mean, come on, man.
Let's keep it smart.
All
right.
Wake up. Anyway, peace and love, man.
Hey,
you already know what it is, man. Too. Yeah, I appreciate it, fam. It's for life, man. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, man. You know where you at. Wipe your feet, and we go flush. We go flush. I see something in the toilet. Looks like Rudy. I'm gonna go flush real quick. I forgot. I was handling my business. I forgot to flush this last turn. Anyway, all right.
Night, Ellis.
Peace and love. Hold on quick.
Bye, Rudy. All right. Poor guy. Actually, Rudy told me that that's not him in the chat. Hey, Lorenzo. Told me that on Twitter.
What's happening there, Ronbo?
Lorenzo, good to hear from you again, fam. We ain't talked to you in a long time. How you doing?
Yeah, it's been about a month. I was hanging out. Listen.
Well, Lorenzo, you must
I've been, listening.
But Lorenzo, that means you must be enjoying the madness that is the quarterbacks, the 49ers annual quarterback madness. It ought to be a TV show on its own. Every year we've been going through this since we've been going through this. Harbaugh. Lorenzo, try to remember a time when we didn't have quarterback madness going on, actually. But it just seems to be a little more turned up with Kyle and John. We can't find
probably right before.
Yeah.
Yeah, right before.
I mean, this goes back to
Smith,
Montana and Young. All the way back.
Yeah. I always try to stay positive, though,
You got to. But here's the thing, Lorenzo. You got to. The 49ers have a model they want to pay. They don't want to pay the quarterback no money. They want everything around the quarterback to be expensive. But the quarterback has to take a minimum amount of money. They just want him to do a certain few things and get out the way. See, we've never had a organization, 49ers people in place that had that kind of mindset. So this is very difficult.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Last year, I think, like you hear a lot of these guys on here, that. We're like fucking spoiled, like, goddamn. Last year was a luxury that we didn't know we had, 3 starting quarterbacks,
Mm-hmm.
and 1 we're not sure of still. So, as far as Trey goes, you either, you get a number 1 for him or you don't, you let him play, And you have to at least see what you got. You have to at least see what you got.
Right, and they haven't done that yet. I mean, that's true.
Yeah, and because, if it was Jimmy, they'd be, fucking Trey, fucking Jimmy's injury prone. Well, no, mainly because he's been injured, right?
Well, yeah.
I mean,
that's
he hasn't
what I
played.
always said.
I mean, it's the same damn thing. He's been injured, but yeah, give him a chance. Jimmy ain't getting him out of town, But man, that guy gets some hate, doesn't he, Jimmy? These fucking fans are relentless. Man. He's with the Raiders, man. Let the man leave alone, But what we have now, shoot, you're lucky to have, if we have 2, we'll see how Darnold works out, I guess,
Yeah.
Because every year is a new year, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, but even like Harbaugh days, all those. I mean, we lost the linebackers. Remember that one? I was thinking about that one rookie. Remember that rookie that retired right off the bat?
Yes, a little guy.
Even
Willis said
he came in.
Bulldog.
Yeah. Yeah, he just
Number
quit
50.
after 1 year. It was bad luck right there. But, I'm always, I just enjoy talking shit all the way to the end. It just ended so terrible this year. But,
I know.
yeah, I'm cool with whatever happens. This is what we have, and this is what we got.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go from there. Not wishing about we should have done this, we should have done that. Hey, fuck that. We're right here, right now.
Lorenzo, it's a tradition, though. That Chris Boylan. Thank you, THC. Chris Boylan. But here's the thing. The whole thing, the standard has been set by the 49ers. We are of the elite franchises in the NFL. There's Green.
But even like Steve,
I was going to say there's New England.
But even like Steve Young stuck in Tampa. before he came. You know?
Yeah, no, it's a thing.
Yeah.
But
So,
but
I mean,
but we still found a way to get a ring with Steve. But then again, we had all kind of money to spend on what you needed, and the league isn't like that because they want parity. So they set up a cap. All right, we want every franchise in the NFL fans to have an equal shot at believing that they have a chance to win the Super Bowl. So now you can't do Eddie D and go out there and get the best gangsters there are and hire them.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Back then, they would just buy, Dion would jump from, whoever had Dion would win, whoever wanted him more,
God.
You know what I mean? So it was whoever had worked, so it was kind of like that in those years, So you got to give Brady a lot of respect, for doing it in this era.
Ooh, I know him and Belichick. I mean, Brady says he could do it without Belichick, but they worked, they needed each other still.
What he did.
I know,
he
right?
did do it with that.
Yeah. and Belichick is still struggling. But the whole team
he's one more
was disciplined in a way to win, though. Because players don't like Belichick, but he does is keep everything in order.
But with Shanahan, he said, these are legitimate fucking excuses, I mean, if you go back and look at it, I don't know what kind of football these guys watch, but I mean, the Chiefs, you hate to fucking say it, but hey, look, goddamn, come on, ref, let's go, let's get with the program. And then Brock broken arm and shit almost, I mean, what do you want, I've listened to some pretty harsh, that's a legitimate excuse, hey, this is our, but we were there,
And, you can't blame Shanahan for the man's arm getting snapped. That's that's not fully.
And you can't blame him for the rest. Not hey, they're holding Nick Bosa. Excuse me, but it was just blatant, stuff like that. And then a couple of times he just fucked up himself, And Jimmy, you getting busted up. Oh yeah, we don't have this, but no deep ball for any of us. Now he can do it, but you need. When you're only getting, 2.8 seconds to get rid of the ball? I mean, even a man with shorts and track shoes runs a 4.3, 40 yards.
Get your brains beat out standing back there waiting for that deep route to develop. I don't blame you. That's why I always laugh. Throw the ball deep. You throw it. I dare you to go out there and throw the ball deep, okay? Let's see how long you last. You're standing there waiting for a deep route. You've got to set that up, and sometimes it's hard to do. The league has caught on to the deep pass. You don't see a lot anymore.
Yeah, and Cousins and Rodgers, they make these many yards a year or whatever, but they're throwing 40 passes a game,
yes,
versus 20, 25, I mean, of course, and Jimmy did that. He's right under 4,000 yards that one year, 3,900, I think it was,
Yeah, almost.
And that's throwing 20, 25,
But it was from
right under 4,000.
It was from an offense that was designed to get the ball out quickly and let the playmakers do it. Kyle is smart when it comes to that. Don't be standing back there waiting for them long routes to develop because all you need is get the quarterback killed, and you're not going to be successful doing that anyway. Defensive set up for that. They're fast, Lorenzo. They are fast now than they've never been. So.
Yeah, I mean, you want, whatever Jimmy haters want to say, I'm going to start watching Raider football, and I bet they make the playoffs this year just because of him. You're going to see what you're missing.
Yeah, because they got Devontae. They lost that tight end. They got guys who can get open and get open quick, and then he's got Renfro, which is Jimmy's style.
Well, they're going to throw. They're different. They're going to defend. They got. Like if they do trade Trey this year, I would think they would get like a stud lineman or something, because you've still got two quarterbacks. Like I said, last year we got lucky we had three, I mean, not every team's going to have three starting quarterbacks,
Nobody does. I've never seen that before. Three? Wait. We did. Yeah. We had Montana. We had Montana.
Young and Bono.
Bono. Bono wasn't bad. You didn't want to see him come in the game.
He went to the Chiefs. They traded him to the Chiefs, So, back then. It wasn't bad. But that was when they could throw money around,
And they did, didn't they? Eddie got in trouble behind that. I think some of it had something to do with that. Go, Eddie!
Yeah, riverboat gambling. Yeah.
I
hope everything. Yeah, we should do all right this year. I'm pretty sure. Just give everybody
compared to everybody
stay
else.
positive. That's all you can do.
Yeah. It's all about how the stars line up to
All
win
right,
that Super Bowl.
Rombo. Well, you all have a good night.
You too, Lorenzo.
Yeah.
Good to hear from you. All right.
All
Have
right.
a great night, fam.
Night. Enjoy.
Too,
Right.
fam. Night, Lorenzo. And Merrick. Come on in, Merrick.
Hey, Ronbo.
Merrick. Well, Merrick, we're talking about the guy.
How was
of
your
the
Friday?
Year. Yeah, I can't remember the last time I had a bad Friday. This goes all the way back to elementary school. Unless somebody stole my lunch. I do remember something like that happening once, second or third grade, before you learned how to beat people up. But otherwise, I've never had a bad Friday in my life. How about you? You enjoy your day?
Yeah, it was good.
All right.
Just working mostly.
All right. Well, making money's good. Merrick, we're talking about Trey Lance, and I still don't believe the 49ers are going to move him, but, he's in the discussion, and the 49ers are doing what they do, making sure that everybody knows they're fielding phone calls. We're not calling people, but we're fielding phone calls. In other words, you call me, and let's talk. I guess I got to believe it now, though. But what are you thinking? And is he leaving on draft night or before?
Yeah, well, I do agree with Big Show and Jalen. I don't really see a future for Trey Lance here.
Yeah.
He'd have to have a massive jump in his playing for him to remain the starter.
And he needs work to do that.
And I just don't think he'll get that in one off season.
No.
Which, it sucks, but life is never fair, unfortunately.
Oh, especially in professional sport. Pro sport is brutal. Brutal. Oh.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, you can lose your job after having a great year in a heartbeat. As the competition coming in, they're here to take your job. Yeah, we drafted them. If you can't stand the heat, we're going to get you the hell up out of the kitchen. It's like that.
Yeah, it's very true, unfortunately.
So, man, salute every player that's put in more than 5 or 6 years in the NFL. NBA, too.
Yeah. So, I could see us trading Trey Lance and maybe a capital picks to move up into the high second round, early second round.
And actually, that's fair, given the fact that he hasn't had any time to show anybody anything, and people are going to grab him on faith if they give the 49ers a second or third round pick. But otherwise, have you wasted him? Merrick, there's the rock and hard place right there, because if I could keep him long enough to get him up to speed, and I still don't want him, now at least he's got trade value. Or I could just use him. He could be my starter.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really a crazy situation involving him.
Yeah.
But the 49ers don't want to pay big money contracts after you do well.
The fans are all behind Purdy.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, another reason is the fans are all behind Purdy. He was at I think it was a Giants game today, and all the fans are cheering for him and everything.
Oh, he's a golden boy now.
Trey Lance would have to come in, throwing haymakers at everyone in order to win the fans back.
I know. He's got to just come in and run off 5, 6 wins in a row, and he's got to look like he was the reason they were doing it. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
It's unfair,
I
but
kind
it's
of think
true.
the best thing for him would be to trade him to a place where he could have a chance to actually start and contribute and start fresh, not because if you play him this year and he plays poorly, or you don't play him at all, then what are you going to get for him? A 7th round pick, maybe? A 6th?
Oh, man. And actually, if you're going to go that route, it would be nice if you go to Texas. But that kid from Berkeley, they like him. It's over in Texas. And Texas says, listen, guys, if we wanted a quarterback, we can get one out of the draft this year without giving you a damn thing. And they can. So Trey is really in this world of limbo. If he doesn't win that job in the next few weeks, I feel sorry for him. I really do. What is he going to do?
Yeah, and I do think what's his name, Sam Darnold is going to be our starter. Granted, he did throw a lot of picks, but he was on very talentless teams, and he played well with the Panthers. They almost made it to the playoffs.
Yeah, last year, so I keep trying to tell people, they keep looking back at Sam's INT. Say, you need to see that footage of Sam last few weeks of last season. Sam Darnold looks like he turned a corner.
Yeah, and I mean, he had much better coaching because in the Jets, he had Adam Gase, who is terrible.
The worst. Hey, Mac, you want to know something? We had a chance to get Adam back when Harbaugh was leaving. I was so excited. Yeah, let's get Adam Gase. Where was he at that time? They were winning football games. Was he in Denver? Where was he? Anyway.
I don't remember.
I forgot, but Adam Gase, I was all excited. Oh, was I confused. Adam Gase is just awful.
So, yeah, he was really, really bad.
So, yeah. So, Darnold.
Yeah, I do think we will trade Trey on draft day. So, that's my main pointer.
And they'll explain it like we're talking about it. We really felt that Trey, it would have been an injustice to keep him with us and have him compete against the likes of Sam Darnold. We already appointed Brock Purdy as our starter, so that left Trey in a position now where he wasn't going to be able to get out and get out there and get his skills together. So we're going to send him to a place where we know he's going to start. And we make sure of that before we made the deal. You know, John Lynch he doesn't want you to ever think he's a bad guy. You ever notice that? John always has things that make you, okay, well, I understand that, John. And, okay. Kyle, on the other hand, doesn't give a damn about what we think. They're like yin and yang. They fit together, don't they?
Yeah. Another thing, another reason why I think Darnold's going to start is, like you've been saying before, is the contract we gave him.
Yeah. It's a lot of money to put a guy
in the $5 million contract with a ton of incentives to we could earn up to, I think you said $11 million.
Mm. Yeah, for incentives get up to $7 million.
And you don't pay a guy a contract like that to sit on the bench all year.
Yeah, you know. And people think that, well, 49ers hope he doesn't have to play. No, if they hope he wasn't going to play, they'd say, look, we're going to give you 2 with an incentive package and make you up to 5. That's the kind of thing it means you don't really have any faith in him at all. So.
Yep. It's just a classic 49er QB click. Like we talk about the Cabo click, we got the QB clicks here.
And you got the veteran click too. As a matter of fact, because those guys are calling the shots in the locker room. Who does a veteran click consist of? George Kittle, Trent Williams, Debo to a degree, Fred Warner.
I think Fred Warner, yeah, he's in there.
Yeah. I don't know who else would be, but I know those guys are going to get Kyle's attention. He'll respect them and listen to what they have to say.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And we know that pretty much all the players are behind Purdy as well.
Oh, God, yes. They love him. That's true.
Yeah.
So
it's unfortunate for Trey, but I think we should do right by him and trade him to a team where he can potentially contribute.
And
I'm not into playing the whole what if game of like, oh, what if he goes well? Well, I don't play the what if game. I'd rather just do what I want to do it. I know, and we know Brock Purdy can do what he can do.
Because guys like Baker Mayfield are running around the league trying to find a job. It's rough out there, man. See, Tammy, that's what we're talking about. It's poor kid never got a shot. Baker got a shot. He messed up. Sam got a shot. He had messed up, but it seems like he might be coming around. So that's why the 49ers picked him up. You think about all the quarterbacks that came in and got turned out to pasture kind of early, right? There are millionaires, so it's hard to really feel all that bad about it, but still, wow. Anyway. Well, Merrick, we're going to go. Let me see you Sunday, okay, and see what's going on.
All right.
All right. Appreciate you, Merrick. Have a great night.
Mm-hmm. Have a good night.
Thanks. And there he is, that man that you drive under that arc that says Reno, Nevada. And Casey, and you'll see a guy that's standing next to that's Casey. Hey, Casey.
What's shaking, Ronbo? How are you, man?
Doing all right. I'm used to this now, because we go through this every year. I don't know why we talk about this like it's something new with the 49ers and the quarterback. But, that's why I'm asking the question tonight. Is he going to survive the week? I'm talking about Trey. Is Trey going to survive the week, or will he be traded on draft night, or will he be left on the roster to compete for position as the starting quarterback?
Yes.
To all?
Yeah, of course he's going. Of course he's going to be there. I don't think he has much trade value, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. I don't think so either. And you can't take a 4th or 5th round pick for him. That's just.
And they've already invested so much and stuff. It's just the carousel that happens this time of year. So.
Yeah, Ian Sharp's right. They tried to trade Jimmy. The 49ers will trade you if they can, though. Of course,
in a way,
still pay too much money, though. $11 million.
In a way, it's a really.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's a good. It's in a way, it's a very good sign that the attention is on Trey because they have everyone else locked up. It's not Debo this year. It's not. No one's worried about. Bosa, they would have
Nick's not saying anything.
Catastrophic implosion, So but definitely Ayuk is someone that I hope they locked up too. But it could be a lot worse. There's a lot of
Ayuk is. We're not talking about Ayuk, but it's been said. Hey, why don't we trade Ayuk and get something for him? Well, for one thing, he's one of the best damn wide receivers in the league. No. A lot of people feel that way. I do, especially as well. But the 49ers are a very shocking, surprising group.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have. But,
there's no. They are looking at wide receivers, but there's no Ayuk in the draft this year. Not where they're picking. Yeah,
they got locked up by you, but shoot, man. There's not too many. There's not too many points of that I'm concerned about with the Niners right now. I think that, they're going to get double-digit leads on a lot of teams this year, and it's going to be hard for teams to come back against them.
Oh, especially with our defense. That was the case last year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Broncos at the Giants game tonight. I think the Giants got killed by 7-0. He waved with both arms. I'm waving with both his arms. So
Brock should have showed up last night at the Warrior game, where the Warriors were just mopping the floor with the Kings. He would have been. They yelled all over the place then.
I love Brock Purdy. He always wears this tan jacket or something.
He looks like a student. That's what I like about him too. He's
exactly.
So down to earth.
He's still in college. Yeah. And little do you know, this guy's. It kind of reminds me of Nick Bosa. He's like the offensive version of Nick Bosa.
Yeah, Nick with
very soft-spoken
T-shirt that he might not have washed.
Just kills it on the field.
I
miss football, Ronbo.
It's coming back soon. We're almost there. When you go into the postseason like we do, Casey, it doesn't take long before you're right back in the season. Yeah, we've what do we have? February, March, April, May. These months went by quickly too.
Yeah, I haven't felt so much emotion with the 49ers since LeVar Bowman broke his leg. So invested in this team.
I know.
Man, I really hope it's the Niners and the Ravens in the Super Bowl.
Ravens
next year. I hope the Ravens can make it that far, and I hope the Niners kick their ass again.
Honestly, I'm going to tell you, I have a fear of Lamar Jackson. The man remember that year we played them? I was so worried the week before that game started. I said, oh, my God, how you going to do with this dude, man? I wasn't even worried about anything but him and that. You see how fast they move in the backfield when that ball's being snapped? You don't know where the ball is. Now you see it, now you don't. Here comes Jackson the other way. He's got the ball. Oh, man. How are we going to stop this? And we weren't that good at stopping quarterbacks that could run anyway. But when they run like Lamar Jackson, oh my God.
Yeah, well, the thing with the Niners is you got to have, especially with the Harbaugh errors, you got to have good special teams.
Yeah.
And, you got to get a couple good key turnovers, and that's what they had that
Yeah. They've gotten better since 2 years ago. We had the worst, a year before last, we had the worst special teams in the league, right? And then last year we weren't so bad. Yeah. See, as soon as Mostert left, we didn't have a top gunner anymore. That was a problem.
Yeah.
So, I don't know who they're going to use now. Kowalski T was on that team. He was good. We had some good guys. Yeah. Last year.
Did you hear that?
Flanagan Foles.
Did you hear that story about? Did you hear that story about Nick Bosa on the Cardinals?
It's so Nick. I couldn't stop laughing. Yeah. Nick is Nick is actually a comedian. The dude is hilarious.
Yeah. That's like the.
Go ahead. That guy. And I'm sorry, not that guy. That person who does Nick imitations, like when he got pulled over by that cop. Oh man, I had to sedate myself after that. I didn't know about Nick getting pulled over by the police, but she did a great job.
Oh, I haven't seen that, Ronbo. I haven't seen that.
I should send you that link. I followed her.
I need a link to the hat, Ronbo. But yeah, man, that's that's kind of the 49ers version of the Aaron Rodgers, draft line.
Yeah, well, I know you guys are going to pick that short guy for that short quarterback, but if you do, Nick, what are you saying?
All jokes aside, I do love Kyler Murray though. Kyler throws a great ball. No, he really does. He throws a great ball, Ronbo.
No, he is. But like somebody said earlier, Papa Dragon, if you're a small person trying to quarterback in the NFL, your clock is ticking. Yeah. It's only a matter of time before they finally catch up to you. Well, that's what Nick said. If you draft that guy, I'm gonna get him.
Rumbo, you brought up this guy Papa Dragon last time. He shows up after after I get off. It sounds like he's sharpening the pencil, just talking about all this crazy stuff. I don't even remember exactly what he said, but it was a bunch of. It was a bunch of flack on Jimmy and all this.
I know, because actually, Pop, I disagree with Pop too. Jimmy was the perfect guy for Trey to learn from. Jimmy was a professional. He did things out in the
Jimmy
field.
Was really good before he got hurt again.
Yeah,
we were just seeing a new Jimmy. Like people don't realize or they don't remember that. Like he was getting like better than ever. Like
he was second only to Mahomes in efficiency coming down that stretch. But
he was making throws that we hadn't really seen him make in a long time.
Oh, yeah, because he finally started throwing the ball where he thought it should be thrown, not where Kyle thinks it should be thrown all the time. Should have been doing that the whole time. But he couldn't because, Kyle, I don't know what he does. He scares people, I guess. But,
Yeah, they really need to make a movie about last season. And I want to see the alternate universes somewhere in the Marvel movies where all three of those guys win the Super Bowl because all three of them could have done it last year.
I know.
That's what I think, at least, Rumble. No, I mean, I'm not like here to hype up Trey or hype up Brock because they really, they haven't been there yet. But I mean,
so agree.
I think they have the potential.
You'll get pushback on that, even from 49 fans. Man, we weren't going to get past the Eagles. Oh, the Eagles weren't all that great.
Especially in the second, the Niners last year in the second half was a different team. They figured out how to make second half adjustments. If they kept it, a one-score game. Who knows? But I mean, that day it's tough to say because that day the Eagles were scary. The Eagles' offensive line was really scary that day.
They were scared, and we had it. Once they come running around that corner, the 49ers were waiting for him as if they knew where he was going. I said, "Wow, the Niners are ready for this game." We'll get it next year. Case, we're hardened like steel. We're ready, Mandalorian steel at that. We're ready to go, man. Tell you, this year's the year.
I sure hope so, Ronbo.
Think positive.
I was born in 1991, man.
It's time for you to see a championship.
Yeah.
All right, Casey. Always, and I mean always a pleasure. I'll see you Sunday.
Thanks, Ronbo. Yeah, I'll be there for the Ronbo show. And
There you go.
please link me to that hat. Put a
And
link in the
Brian's
chat.
been trying to contact me. I keep on doing a million things. I got to get around to him soon. Promise. I'm going to talk to him. Maybe I'll talk to him after the show. All right. All right, Case.
Right on, Ronbo. Have a good night.
Have a great night, fam. And we got let's see what we got here. I think that's Big Show. And Big Show says cognition test results just came out on this year's quarterback class regarding decision making and processing. Bryce Young's number one, 98%. Damn. Jake Hayner, 96%. Will Levi, 93%. Jalen Hall, 93%. Clayton Tune, 84%. Holding down that. Man, I tell you. But Show, Justin Fields and Trey did really well in that test as well, as I remember. I wonder if Zach Wilson did well. Hey, yo, Bethel!
Hey, Ronbo.
Bethel, you coming in rocking tonight?
Nah, it's just playing a game, and that was the music in the background.
Did you say the A's? You know, I
No,
thought
the video game.
Oh, okay. Because I'm laughing because I just heard the other day the A's are moving out of Oakland on their way to Vegas. There's going to be nothing left in Oakland. The Warriors left. The Raiders had to leave, and now the A's. I feel bad for them. Poor Raiderville. But anyway. Well, Bethel, we're talking about Trey. This may be our last week we're going to be talking about Trey. From what people are saying, some of the mock drafts include Trey Lance as part of a trade asset. I says, man, it's heating up here. Is Trey going anywhere? Do you see him leaving this week or during the draft night? Or what do you think's going on here with that?
I go, if you trade him, you got to get good draft capital because first place, you're going to have him for 3 years because if you're going to have him for this year, you're going to have him for next year. And then if you pick up this 5th-year option, you're going to have him for that year. And you're still going to have him for cheap. And if you don't know what you have in them, you're not going to know until later. And then plus another thing is that if you say you put in Trey and for some reason he leads us to the playoffs and he
does well like Brock Purdy did.
Does well, yeah, and we're gonna be happy that we kept him. And then plus if he stay healthy, then that's another plus. So I see that a lot of people want to keep him because we want to see what he has. We want to see, why they gave up so much for him. If you didn't gonna get him in the first place, then why trade up all that crap capital for him if you're not gonna, if you're just gonna give him away?
This is a scary thing about the draft. That's why Trent Baalke never drafted quarterbacks or wide receivers anymore in the first round. When you go to the first round, it's a high risk, maybe big gains if you can win on that. But you know what? How many quarterbacks, and we talked about this last time, it was you and I, how many first round quarterbacks have amounted to anything in the last 10 years? You can almost count them quickly.
Yeah, you could. And, there's some quarterbacks that actually do better, and you just have to give him that chance.
Yeah.
And he hasn't had that chance to,
and then there's that.
Prove himself. Yeah. And another thing is that look at the Jaguars. Look how trash they were, and they got a Super Bowl coach that was with the Eagles. And look at they went to the playoffs in how many years?
A good quarterback. I mean, a good coach. And Trevor Lawrence actually is probably the best quarterback in that class. I mean, right now you got to call him the best.
yeah, because he look at what he did, and he was a humble guy for it. In the beginning, when you met him, a lot of people thought he was an asshole because that's how he looked. But the thing is that the
do
coaching.
you see him that way? He seems pretty humble to me, actually.
Oh, he does right now. Yeah, he does. But in the beginning,
he thought he was all that. That's true.
Yeah. See, but because of the coach, he talked to him and coached him good, and look what happened. He became a better person for it.
Yeah, your first round pick, you can't get vicious because of the fact that you are a first round pick and people taking shots at you. And if you like, Baker Mayfield's the extreme, but usually those guys do snap back when something's said about them, whether it's on Twitter, social media platforms, anywhere, or programs or something. Yeah, they snap back. Usually, the guy that's confident in himself and is doing well doesn't say a word.
Yeah. So. And then plus, look at Trey. He won the last time. I think he was talking to Purdy, and he was, going on the same game plan. A good quarterback does that. Works with, their teammates. Talk to their teammates and go, hey, look at this are the, what we need to work on and stuff like that. That's a guy that's confident that he's going to be here. Because if you think that you're not going to be here, then why even, talk to your other quarterback?
Had a divish attitude. The 49ers, they promote that kind of atmosphere somehow. I've never seen a team with so many guys who show each other so much love like the 49ers. Have you heard about any fights in the locker room with the 49ers since Kyle? Never.
No. And then plus, I think I heard that Trey Lance's representatives are really top-notch people. So if the representatives would have told Kyle to trade him, that they're gonna have to trade him because you don't want to mess with these guys, I guess, because if they're representative, top-notch guys, they're not gonna want to work with you anymore, or your basically team. So
I didn't know about that.
I heard.
I didn't know who they were.
Yeah, I barely heard about it yesterday from Nothing But Niners. The guy was talking about that his representatives.
Because Bethel, at this point, you're gonna ruin his career if you don't get him on the field. If you're gonna bring in Sam Darnold, which is gonna really make it an uphill climb for Trey, people seem to think that he can still beat Sam out, but I don't think so. So now he's behind Brock Purdy. We already know that. So now you're gonna screw his career up.
Yeah, but you might be surprised. He might surprise a lot of people. You don't know if you don't give him a chance.
True, but wow, that's gonna be tough. I do want to see it actually. Honestly, I want to see him compete. Can he?
Me too. I think he could. Look, he's been practicing with Patrick Mahomes. He's going to learn some stuff from him.
But those are...
Imagine the stuff that he's going to teach him. Like, he's going to go, hey, when you don't have to run, don't run. Look somebody out on the field. Yeah, like, if you're going to run, slide.
And that number one.
Remember, we're talking about a slide. Yeah. Because Patrick Mahomes does that. Remember, Patrick Mahomes runs and he slides.
Yeah.
To not get hurt.
Trey never slid at Dakota. He ran through people.
Yeah.
You cannot run through NFL players, Trey. Get down so the ref can protect you. And they can't wait to throw the flag if somebody touches you. Think about that.
Yeah, so, those are the kind of things that he could learn from, 2 times, even though he didn't deserve one of them, but, Super Bowl champion. But he can learn that kind of stuff. And
yeah, I don't know. Let's see. I actually do want to. I want to have a chance, but just don't cut him because then he won't. He won't be. It's a risk. If Trey gets cut and Darnold beats him out, then now what? Anybody want to watch Trey? Oh man, That's sad.
Yeah, but you took a gamble with him, and you gotta stick with him, and you gotta take that risk.
Yeah.
It's like it's like if I go into a job, if I don't gamble on myself, and I don't do something, then I'm not gonna do nothing.
Yeah.
But if I have that confidence,
yeah,
and I go in there and I blow out everything,
yeah,
nail it, then everybody's gonna be happy with me. Everything's, gonna be praising me, and
just don't get fired because they'll put that on your resume.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about with Trey.
yeah.
Beth, we got to go.
Yeah.
I'll let me see a Sunday and see what develops between now and then. Because the 49ers have time to make deals between now and next Thursday. Will they, if they're going to do this?
Yes.
Or are they going to be cruel about this and do it on draft night? That would be nasty. All right, fam.
Hopefully they do the right thing, then punch the like, and let's go Niners.
All right, fam. Appreciate you, brother.
Have a good night.
You too. Night, fam. Yeah, now I'm thinking about. See, I'm looking at Bethel. I mean, I'm looking at Trey. Come on, man, y'all. There's a lot of circumstances here that it wasn't in his control. Don't do a job on him. If you're gonna do something, set him up so he can still have a potential to succeed, even if it's not with San Francisco. But you went and got him. He got hurt. Okay, I get it. I just got a soft heart for that kind of thing. Hey, yo, Bill.
No, I'm looking up, shaking my head.
Why are you shaking your head? Mm-hmm. What?
Not only are we not going to go get Aaron Rodgers, we're getting rid of supposedly Trey Lance.
Maybe.
Dumb decision.
Yeah. Bill, I don't know if I want Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers.
What are they going to do? Start Sam Donald? Is that what the whole plan is? Let's start Sam and see where it goes?
Well, see, Trey's got to beat him out. A lot of people think that Donald's so bad that he can't beat out a kid that's got 1 year of experience at college ball and a handful of games with the NFL. I don't know how that's. I mean, I'd be interested if he could do it. Okay, but I can't imagine that.
Okay, well, let me put it this way. Brock Purdy had more years in college. He was way better. Trey Lance is better than Jimmy Garoppolo.
No. We haven't seen that show yet, Bill. Jimmy Garoppolo's got statistics, wins.
Mm.
You got to go by the numbers on some of these things. Is Trey really better, or is that just a judgment call?
That's can't really judge on that with him getting injured and all. And
well, that's what I'm saying. That's why we can't assume that he's better than Jimmy, because if he was, he'd be the starter, no doubt about it.
We can't call him bad either. We can't assume that he's a bust. We can't call him that he's trash.
But what can we call him from what we've seen? We've not seen anything.
Well, I don't think he played when we had Christian. Did we? Did he?
Trey?
Yeah.
No.
Did he play when we had Christian McCaffrey?
No, he never got a chance. He was out week one. We didn't get Christian until mid-season, right? So Trey got 2 weeks, against Chicago, and then the Hawks, and that was the end of that.
Well, I've seen in the preseason when they stacked the box for each of downfield, and we need to get some receivers that can get downfield and open that up. Can't really go by Trey. We send him to a team that ends up using him like Tennessee. They got Henry, so
he might be leaving too, though. They're trying to get rid of Henry.
Yeah. Oh well.
Boy, everybody's
team that's good. Then we'll see what we just got rid of, and you'd be like upset. Now, as far as I know, we're not going for Rodgers, but who knows? It could happen. It could not.
Bill, how can I talk you out of Rodgers? Rodgers is a pain in the ass.
I'm not talking about Rodgers. What I'm talking about, we don't know what they're doing. They're
getting
rid of Trey. They're talking about getting rid of Ayuk.
Not the 49ers.
Get rid of a lot of people.
Bill, remember, the 49ers haven't said a word.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what they're doing. And it's really giving me a headache thinking about it. I can't listen to BSPN. So
Because these are the guys talking about the Cowboys going to win a Super Bowl, which is never going to happen. Dude, I don't know, man. I mean, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I'm convinced that, Trey's going to be there. They're going to fight for it in camp. The 49ers are going to have 3 quarterbacks in camp. Trey's going to be one. Brock's going to be the other. And Darnold's going to be the other. Well, Brock's not going to be there, but they're going to pick up another veteran. They have to because Brock is going to be still on the mend. So they're probably going to draft one, and that leaves 3. Now, here's the thing. That creates another paradox because now, what if that kid comes in and looks pretty good? You going to cut him? Darnold's probably not going to get cut. Kyle loves him like a fat kid loves cake. So now, I try to figure out when the dust settles, who is it going to be? Who's going to be the 3 quarterbacks?
Well, what I'm about to say is what it's looking like. And I mean, we got a Super Bowl ready team, but if we're going to start the whole rebuild, because we really don't got good quarterbacks, what you just said, who's going to start the quarterbacks? Who knows? They could trade Ayuk and Trey and go pick up a couple water boys, such as similar to what was that quarterback that was garbage in the NFC Championship? That water boy?
Yeah.
Josh Johnson?
Yeah. No, I thought you were talking about the other guy for the Ravens.
No, Josh Johnson. We could get 2 people similar to Josh Johnson that can't play like Josh Johnson. We can only go with 2 wins of the season, which will be against the Rams. No matter how bad we are, we're going to at least get 2 wins against the Rams. So we count that one, and Seattle most likely, and win our division, still make playoffs with waterboard quarterbacks. So I'm not going to – this is how I'm going to say it's going to go, Ronbo. We're not getting Aaron Rodgers. We're trading Trey Lance. We're trading Ayuk. And we're getting 2 waterboy quarterbacks that can't play. And we'll have 3 on the staff. So we got that what was that quarterback we just drafted? That was third under – we have Brock Purdy, Trey Lance. Who's that other one?
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold. So I'm saying maybe Sam Darnold might start week 1, and we'll have 2 waterboy quarterbacks ready to start, and something might happen. We'll end up having to start with 2 waterboy quarterbacks.
Bill, I think Ayuk is staying, though. I really do.
I really don't, because I don't see Kyle. Because if he was going to keep anything good and we were going to keep going, we would make that trade. But we ain't making the trade, so that's not happening. That's just a dream. It's not going to happen. We're ready to win. We're not going to win. So I'm actually going to do this. They're not wanting to do it. I think we're going to end up on rebuild.
But why?
That's what it's looking like, Ronbo.
I mean, you got so many good players. We got more depth in players than most teams in the NFL. Why do we need to rebuild?
Well, who we got to start for quarterback? Well, Purdy might be out for the year.
Bill, this is what we've been talking about in the organization. But this is what the 49ers have been telling people. They don't need a golden boy quarterback. They just need one that can do his job and do it effectively.
Good luck with that.
I know, but I'm just saying that's their MO. We're gonna put
that MO is not gonna work.
We're gonna put a bunch of assassins around this kid, and he's gonna just get out there and do his job. Kyle can pretty much see to it. Kyle's already, you know how arrogant Kyle is. I can take any quarterback in the league as long as he's not in a wheelchair, and can throw the ball into a champion. Kyle's not playing.
How many Super Bowls have we got from that?
Well,
how many Super Bowls have we got from that philosophy? How many have we won from them doing that?
The guy's got to stay healthy. Brock Purdy was about to get that done, Bill. They broke his elbow. That's the only reason why the Eagles escaped. That is the only reason.
That was pure luck, a pure steal in the draft. We got a pure steal. Well, let's talk about Brock Purdy's going to be out possibly for the season. So
no, Aaron Rodgers. He'll be back. He'll be back. I don't know what, but he's not going to be out for the entire season. Remember, this is not the Tommy John surgery.
We better pray that's fake news, because if that's not fake news, this is how the roster's going to look. So whatever his name is, that quarterback, because he hasn't proven himself. I don't remember him.
Well, Sam Darnold. Write it down. Listen, Bill, you might as well get used to that name.
Starter.
Yeah,
Jed,
Sam Darnold
Bill, let me help you
and
with this.
Waterboard quarterbacks.
Listen, Jed York. Word is Frank Gore and Jed York both like Sam Darnold. Tell you what, let me see you Sunday, and let's see what develops between now and then. All right.
Well, do me a favor, give me a 49er shout out. Hopefully,
Can't
I'm putting it out there, but I give you a 49er shout out, and you Cowboys, no matter how good of a roster you got, you're never going to win one. Give me a 49er shout out.
Shut up! Bill, keep bringing that stuff, man. I always enjoy it. But Rodgers is not coming, I'm telling you.
I already checked that on the box out.
Night, Bill.
That's a check. They don't want to win. Have a nice day.
There he goes. You see, this is why being a bad guy like Aaron Rodgers, this is what happens. Hey, Green Bay on the phone, and we don't have to listen. We don't have to deal Aaron Rodgers until day one when payday comes. So you know what? Just wait, New York. We'll send him, but I better send him when we get ready to. You know, Tony. See, this is why being a jerk like Aaron is. You know, the first time Aaron Rodgers was playing these games a few years back, I said, you know, he's got a good point. I stopped saying that about 4 seasons back. I said, you know what, Aaron Rodgers, he creates this drama, and then he comes riding in an armor on a white horse, like he is the guy. Aaron, you know, you created this mess, and then you start talking and running people off. Devontae didn't want to leave Green Bay. He didn't know what Aaron was going to do. He said, you know what, this man is stressing me out. I'm leaving. Goes to the Vegas team and says, yeah, I'm playing for another Hall of Famer. That was a shot at Aaron. Tony, you and I both know it. It was.
Well, the old saying goes, when you burn bridges, you know what I mean? And now karma's hitting.
That's right. That's why people, would you want Aaron Rodgers on your team?
No, we don't need him.
The man is a pain in the ass.
We don't need him.
Aaron, he's just...
And the Falcons are sticklers. We don't like... It's just like the defensive tackle from Georgia, Jalen Carter, with all that trouble. The Falcons don't like troublemakers that have problems. They don't play that in Atlanta. They'll get rid of you.
Oh, man, Aaron, boy, he's a definition of that, man. And he's got to make sure all the media finds out about it. He could have went to that dark place that he was talking about quietly. There's no need to make an announcement. Just go, Aaron.
Exactly. Not support it. Yeah. But, now he's holding the Jets hostage, and he's going to the media capital of the United States. For all his baggage and BS, you know how they are. It's going to be magnified 20,000 times more than anywhere else.
Him and, I was looking for Pat McAfee to bring him to the next WWE bout, If Rodgers really trying to get popular with all this madness, go ahead. Go with Pat and George to the next WWE event and turn off the corner turnstile and jump into somebody's neck.
Well, we got 6 days to the draft, Ronbo. Yeah. Only news of today that I know of, we cut our number 2 corner, Casey Haywood, the 32-year-old. They had shoulder surgery. I thought we were going to keep him. We saved $5 million on the cap.
Ooh. Haywood's such a good ball player, though.
Yeah,
but it's 32, though, like you say. So he may be, it might be his time.
$5 million. I didn't want to believe it, but remember we traded for Jeff Okudah, the former first-round pick with Detroit?
Yeah.
And then we signed Mike Hughes, who played with Detroit last year. He's a former first-round pick. And, with Isaiah Oliver being gone, I said, that's going to be our number 2 in our nickel. So the writing was kind of on the wall.
Yeah. Assembling that backfield is so important. And nowadays it's really important because the more pressure they can provide back there and giving the quarterback a hard time to find targets, the more effective your front line is going to be. It just works hand in hand. You got to be careful with that. You got to make sure you get the right guys.
Yeah, and so and I was trading messages in your live stream about a half hour ago, and you and I talked about this. Sam Darnold gonna feel like he at USC again, Ronbo, with all the talent he got now.
Yeah, that's what
he
people
never had this.
Or coaches. And the way he looked
And the
last
coach.
year with the Carolina Panthers, that was not the same Sam Darnold. Everybody still thinks he's an INT machine. Sam Darnold looked damn good coming down the stretch last year. I mean, really good.
Got to look at what he had around him in Cleveland and what he had around him with the Jets, man. It wasn't a lot of talent.
And also, remember, the coaches always make a difference in whether bringing out potential. So, yeah.
You guys got top of the line.
Yeah.
What is your thought? I'm hearing a lot of you guys' comments and about this Trey Lance situation, and so Ronbo, this looks like it's going to be a fail, huh? Because of what y'all had to give up, trade up to get him.
And that's the main
no matter
reason
how
why.
it turns out.
You know, if you just got him at number 3 without having traded up, okay. But you 2 years of no first
rounder last year, no first rounder this year.
Yeah, you that hurt.
Yeah.
So he had to materialize, and he hasn't had the chance to do so. You know, like I'm saying, it wasn't his fault. It's just he hasn't been out there long enough to train. So
a fresh start is probably does him good, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, because it's unfair. I'm worried about, you know, I don't have any dislike. People thought I didn't like him. I never said I disliked him. I just said I haven't got any opinion about him because I haven't seen as to what he can do yet. People thought I was hating. I don't want to see him go into a situation now where he's doomed as an NFL quarterback. Because if he gets turned out now without being sent to a team that is interested in developing him, that's going to be really rough. I'm talking
And
really
the pressure
rough.
is on him now in San Francisco, Ronbo. He's going to be under a lot of pressure here in San Francisco.
You know? So he's got to come in.
Yeah.
And like we were talking about Darnold having made the improvements he's made, and he looked like an NFL quarterback last year coming down the stretch. And then you got Trey, who hasn't had any time to really learn anything yet. He's got to go up there and beat Darnold out. Good luck with that, but I can't imagine that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I say, you know, and Brock's already been told, hey, when you get well, don't worry about these guys. You're the guy. See?
Yeah. And Brock Purdy, like I said, he's right on schedule. I still don't expect him back to October, or like you said, maybe the last week or so of September.
Yeah. It's not Tommy John surgery, which the tissue does have to take time to build back. They've inserted something in there so that arm can heal with support the entire time. So he has no business being out for a year, and people confuse that procedure with the Tommy John surgery, which is 2 different things.
Hey, Ronbo, you had me laughing. Now, you guys' first pick in the draft this year is the 3rd round, right?
Yeah.
What makes you think y'all going to take a running back in the 3rd round because of y'all's pass?
Because you know, yes. Kyle and John, I don't know what they're thinking. When they did the first year with Trey, not Trey Lance, but the other Trey, forget his last name. Anyway, Sermon. Sermon came in and didn't know. Sermon, he didn't hold no service. So you know, something to Trey. I mean, he looked like
Frank.
He looked
back at Ohio State. I was surprised he didn't work out with you guys.
I was too. I saw his
What
film. I
about
thought
the
this
kid
guy
that
looks
got
good.
drafted from LSU, Ronbo? What's this about? The kid got drafted from LSU.
PD, you know what? He got beat out. They didn't say it. Kyle says, yeah, he hasn't had a chance to actually show himself out there. Because, Kyle, you like Jordan Mason better. Just admit it. And also, he wasn't certainly going to pass Elijah Mitchell. So you picked him up and you sat him in the back and you got over him. He didn't even dress out for a number of weeks. So what do you guys do? Don't get another running back in the 3rd round. Get something else. You got the best running back you had was Elijah Mitchell. You got him in the 5th round.
Hey, Ronbo, if y'all don't want Jordan Mason, y'all can send him over to Atlanta.
No. Everybody wants Jordan Mason. We feel like Kyle needs to stop clowning and let Jordan Mason run that ball a little more often and stop wearing out CMC when you can let Jordan punish that front line trying to stop him. Oh.
Yeah. Which will make that front line looser when you put CMC back in when you alternate.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Tevin Coleman used to do for Mostert, you know? So, you know?
Yep. And then Tevin Coleman and Devontae Freeman did for us in Atlanta.
Yep.
They complemented each other.
Absolutely. So,
Ronbo, you think y'all going to draft the offensive lineman? That's a good offensive lineman. Like we said, the second, third, fourth, and fifth rounds, man.
One of those
It's
third
a
round picks.
plethora of-
The 49ers have safety. If they don't trade up and get more picks, because I know the 49ers, boy, they love to deal. Even if it's not necessary, the 49ers out there dealing. But right now, those 3 picks should be safety, offensive lineman, and, of course, the tight end. I don't know which order, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't have a fifth round pick or a sixth round pick. We got a first, second, third. We got 2 fourths, and we got 2 sevenths.
2 sevenths. You know, actually, Brock Purdy's brought new meaning to the 7th round pick, so you can feel good about that. You don't know until it gets to camp.
Yep.
Never
We got
mind
seven- we got
wildest
7
imagination did I see that coming. I didn't know anything, but you knew, right? Did you know about Brock Purdy? Because you followed college ball kind of closely.
I was shocked. I thought he was going to get drafted much higher, like the 3rd or 4th round.
Ooh, he looked
drafted.
size. Yeah.
The size, yeah, because they went to bowl games all 4 years at Iowa State.
And he was a true
they
freshman,
played the
right?
Big 12 championship.
Yeah.
They played the Big 12 championship that 3rd year. They lost by 6 points to Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship, 6 points. So he was very successful.
And he was running neck and neck with Hurts, right, in that game, from what I understand?
Yeah. Back and forth, like a boxing match.
That boy can play. He's got good sense. And he not got hurt. Remember, Brock Purdy was out there playing against a practice squad. Apparently, his football IQ is extremely high. So therefore, if he came back out this season and hadn't hurt that arm, he was going to beat Hurts. Even if he didn't, our defense was going to. Hurts' eyes looked like a deer in headlight. We came running around that corner, and Nick Bosa, I forget, was standing next to Bosa, but the 49ers had the Hurts plan all figured out. He was not going to run the 49ers to death. No, not that day. Now what are you going to do? That secondary is not bad. 49ers are going to win that game. And Kyle made that call, and you and I both know, everybody knows, Kyle, you had nothing to lose. It's the first half. Throw the flag, Kyle. If your ball players are telling you to throw the flag, throw the damn flag. You got nothing to lose. They would have called it back. And that means things would have lined up differently, and maybe Brock doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, because Shanahan, because I pull for you guys. You guys are like my second team. Let's just say it.
Oh,
when you guys don't play Jordan Mason, and then you put him in, he busts off 40 yards like he did in Seattle. I'm like, how come he's not playing? This guy needs to get about 9-10 carries a game.
You know how it goes, Tony. There's things maybe he doesn't he? I didn't pay attention. Does Jordan pass protect very well? Kyle always has. You know how he is. Kyle have his 1 or 2 things, and I think that's what Danny Gray's going on with Danny Gray. Lord knows Danny Gray can run. Kyle won't let him play because that kid might throw the ball to him. Forget it, man. That's not it. Something else. Kyle's already made it clear. He did this 3 years ago. If you don't block, you don't play. And some of the players even repeated that. So I said, you know what? Danny Gray had
a nice preseason, remember?
Yeah.
Caught a couple touchdown passes.
You don't need to block.
Oh, man.
But you know what Kyle is?
49ers sound.
I don't care how good you are. If you don't block, you're not playing. He's got to let up on that stuff. You know?
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. And let the talent flow. Let the talent flow. Do what they do best. You know what I mean?
And let your quarterback play a little bit.
Yes.
Remember him? Because I heard stories that Matty Ice fell out with Kyle right away when he first got there. Matty Ice is a veteran. He's been doing this for years. He's had a lot of success. Kyle, all right, Matt, if you listen to me, I'll make you into an MVP. And I'll be damned if he didn't. But still, Matt
because that first year, the year before, that was the 8-8 season, 2015. The Falcons started out 6-0 that year.
I know. And beat us.
Win the tank. Yep. 6-0.
No.
And then they only won 2 games the rest of the way, and they fell out with each other.
Oh, wait. You did lose to us that year. We were we started that. You were 6-0, and I thought they were just coming and just beat hell out of the 49ers, and they actually lost that game. And they actually beat the Falcons. I was shocked. But yeah.
Yep, we started and lost 8 of the last 10.
And even Jimmy Garoppolo, the dude looked like a stud going those 5 games he won in a row. Some of them were kind of close. Some of them were kind of top. McCaffrey hadn't gotten there yet. and he was winning ball games, and he was grinding them out, and he was hitting some nice shots all over the field, and had one INT for the longest time. And then he finally got a couple more. But the thing is, Garoppolo said, you know what? I'm not coming back here. I'm going to play Jimmy Garoppolo football and get a job. Because, I just, see, Kyle, you could have used Jimmy for what you wanted to do, but let him also beat Jimmy. I don't know. Kyle, he's never going to change, though. He is going to remain who he is.
Let me ask you this question about Kyle Shanahan real quick. Do you think he micromanages his quarterbacks?
Oh, hell yeah. That's why Jimmy said what he said. That's why Matt Ryan said what he said. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's the problem.
I think Brock ignored
like you
him.
said, you got to let loose and do what they do.
That's why he's in this league. He's an NFL quarterback. Let him be an NFL quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
LaFleur got into it with Aaron Rodgers when he first got over there. Why? Because LaFleur was trying to do like Kyle, and Aaron said, wait a damn minute. I'm Aaron Rodgers, boy. And remember they were fighting for a while? And then Aaron finally bought into the program, and they went 13-3. See, that's the problem, Tony. You can get results if you do what they tell you, Aaron and LaFleur. LaFleur and Kyle. But unfortunately, there's going to be some bloodshed around the locker room. Anyway.
Speaking of which, Ronbo, do you think? Remember I told you I think there's going to be 2 big trades in this top 10, top 15. Do you think that the Colts are going to try to trade for Lamar Jackson on draft day, dangling that 4th pick?
If I had to bet, yes. Because the Colts, they have a lot of nerve when it comes to betting. This has been going on for a long time. They'll take a shot. They're not going to say anything because they don't want anybody to find out.
They got that 4th overall pick as the carrot, the dangle.
There you go. I tell you, Tony, the Ravens will take that, and it may be something else, but they will. Yeah. So we gotta go. Let me see you coming up on Sunday. Yeah, we are already ready for Sunday. All right.
Yes, sir. We're one day closer to draft night, and Rudy, your Rams are ass. They went from the L.A. Coliseum to sharing the stadium with the Los Angeles Angels baseball team to San Bernardino. The city of San Bernardino kicked them out. Played Tijuana a year, then flew across the country to St. Louis. They kicked them out. Went back to the L.A. Coliseum, and now you beg the Chargers to play in their stadium. Good night, Ronbo.
Good night, Tony. Have a great night. Good shot. And then he has a nerve to call the 49ers the Santa Clara 49ers. You know what I'm saying? The boy has got cojones the size of diesel truck bearings. Fam, I'll see you Sunday. Let's see what's going on with the 49ers. And please, fam, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so we can find you. We get ready to have more fun talking 49ers football. I'll see you Sunday. Oh, the contributions, thank you. Always appreciated. Have a great night. I know.